I love this time of year, baby. More rumors and buzz are coming from all over the place, and we're going to react to all of it. A special Boy Green Daily here on a Friday starts right now.
Oh my gosh, it's morphin' time! To me, talking New York Jets is my superpower. Boy Green Daily starts now. Wow! Boy Green Daily, Daily.
We're talking just football, man.
Boy Green Daily. Offense, defense, special teamwork, Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Let's go!
That's the spirit, baby. Let's go. I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. If you're coming on in on YouTube, please like the video. Show your support. That's how this Jet show gets in front of other Jet fans out there, and the audience would really appreciate that. We've got a few plugs to get to, and then let's get to our special guest here on the program. In case you missed it, I sat down with the wonderful Judy Batista of the NFL Network earlier this week. We had a 30-minute sit-down talking about her one-on-one conversation with Aaron Glenn. A lot of great stuff. I'll be clipping that up over the weekend. You guys will get some of the top clips from that, but I highly recommend watching the full interview. Great stuff there from Judy Batista, senior national columnist for the NFL Network, and also part of the Insiders Monday through Friday at 7 o'clock on NFL Network, so shout out to her. But the only other guest that could top her on a weekly visit here to Boy Green Daily is none other than one of the most accomplished authors of our era. There it is, Beyond Broadway Joe, the Super Bowl team that changed football forever, baby. Bob Lederer with the foreword by two Jets legends, Jerry Philbin and Matt Snell. We bring in the unmistakable Bob Lederer, who's back on his Friday slot. Happy Passover last week, Bob. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Boy Green. And I'm sorry, I'm not in the league with Judy Batista, at least not these days. But I can't wait to what she did here. I've been really kind of completely out of what's been going on in Jetsland the last couple of days. I'm glad to see the country hasn't blown up yet. But everything else, as far as Jetland goes, you'll have to fill me in. I read a couple of the columns this morning to see what some of the writers are saying, and I see that David Bailey all of a sudden is very much in conversation.
Yeah, that caught me off guard, no question about it. But that's what the show's all about, Bob. So your weekly catch-up is here, served on a silver platter. And the latest buzz we'll hear will go to the Jets Collective podcast, which had their third episode last night. There's, of course, the triplets of Jake Asman of the Jake Asman Show, Brandon Tierney, BT from BT Unleashed, and then ESPN's Rich Cimini has covered this Jets team for just under 4 decades. And he said he's heard some buzz about what the Jets could do in the first round. Hit it,
bring
people.
Up a very, very interesting point about could they trade up to get one of those receivers. I have heard a little buzz, around the league that if there's a receiver who's kind of hovering, one of those big 3 receivers, then I think it's feasible that the Jets could make a move up to grab one of those guys.
Yeah, we got a little Cimini buzz here, Jake. Let's go.
There you go. That is from the Jets Collective podcast. Again, you can go find them on YouTube. Hit subscribe. They're just under 3,000 subscribers, so congratulations to all their immediate success. So go check them out.
Hey, BG, when he talks about the big 3, is the kid from Arizona State in that big 3?
He is. So the big 3 in no particular order, because every draft analyst seems to have a different take on this. That would include Ohio State's Carnell Tate, Arizona State's Jordan Tyson, and then, of course, it would include our third man, which is USC's Mekhi Lemon. And this trade-up scenario, because obviously it's a very quick clip, so to provide some context, the Jets would do whatever the hell they wanted to. And then as they're waiting at 16 and the board's falling closer to them and closer to them, Rich Cimini indicated that if one of those big 3 receivers that I just mentioned, again, Mekhi Lemon, Carnell Tate, or Jordan Tyson, fall within a certain range for the Jets where they're comfortable enough giving up whatever would be required to trade up, that the Jets would move up into that conversation. We'll give some other intel from ESPN. They've also heard beyond Ritsamini, they've also heard that the Jets plan to be aggressive in that realm as well. So to me, that's one of the most popular mock draft scenarios among fans, is trading up and going to get your guy from 16 to move up. And wide receiver makes the most sense, certainly, with Garrett Wilson all by himself in that room right now.
And why all the hubbub about Bailey as opposed to Arvell Reese, who's been basically everybody's consensus as the number 2 pick?
So, Bob, and your excellent knowledge with writing your book will probably come in handy here, is that you have this journalistic antenna, and it's what my father would probably call, in a more blunt sense, a BS meter, and what's going on over the last. But here's the thing. This is what makes it conflicted for me. Normally, I hear this random David Bailey buzz out of nowhere. I'm like, it's a bunch of hogwash. But the 3 people that have said it, I trust as insiders that have really good information. So now I'm just interested where it came from. That is Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated. That is Peter Schrager, now of ESPN. And that is Daniel Jeremiah of the NFL Network. All 3 of those individuals have said the information that they've gathered is David Bailey to the Jets is very real. And Albert Breer was the most emphatic of all of them. He said he's talked to a few teams, and I don't know if you know French, Bob, so maybe you can pronounce this better than me. But
David,
okay, good. Well, hopefully this is in that category. That Albert Breer spoke to other NFL teams, not the Jets, and they said that David Bailey to the Jets is fait accompli. Is that how you pronounce that, Bob?
It's fait accompli, yep.
Mm-hmm. There you go. You nailed it. See, you bring the French to the table. Did you have that on the bingo card here?
Oui.
Maybe not. So he believes, and for those who don't know French, that basically means that it's a done deal. They think that is exactly what it's going to be for the Jets, and it's interesting that other teams have that perspective. Now, that perspective could be wrong, but it's just a lot of strong sense. So anywho, Bob, to answer your initial question, that's where it all came from. It all hit us hot and heavy this week over the last couple of days.
And he's considered, Bailey's considered the best pass rusher.
Of course, he led college football in sacks last year, 14.5.
But he's also the one who's got the short arms.
No, that's Reuben Bain Jr., the Miami kid. Yeah, so no short arms. David Bailey is older. I believe he's 23. He will turn 24 during his rookie season. So he's sort of got a gap on Arvell Reese. I think he's 2 years older than Arvell. So maybe I have 1 year off on that. Maybe I'm thinking Ty Simpson. But whatever it is, there's like a 2-year age gap between Arvell Reese, who's 20. He'll turn 21. So, yeah, maybe David Bailey's turning 23 right before the start of the season. But, yeah, his is, I guess, age, if you want to call it that, but not really. But it's more so the run defense. People think, essentially, they've compared him to Will McDonald. He has had some issues in run defense, and that scares some people off.
Does it make a difference? Is he a left end or a right end?
No, I believe they moved him all over the place. So I don't think that's a factor in whatever this would be. No.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about his lack of ability against the run, which makes him highly susceptible,
By the way, 22 will turn 23, so I was slightly off. But it is that 2-year gap between him and Arvell Reese. So, again, he's 22. He will turn 23 before the start of his rookie season.
Well, yeah, the only rep I've really heard about Reese is that he's a master of many capabilities, but he's not, a standout in any one of them in particular. That he'd be a terrific, basically, we used to call it in the old days a rover. They run all over the field and make tackles all over the field. We'll see. But I brought up, I think 2-3 weeks ago, that they would probably have to trade up for a receiver, because drafting 16, there were at least 4 or 5 teams ahead of them that were at least mildly, if not very interested in fortifying their receiver room. So, hey, you've got the extra picks in the second round. And if you have to move way up, you're probably going to have that kind of, offering, for the other teams in order to get them interested to drop 6 or 8 spots, in the first round.
Which, again, makes a lot of sense. I want to give 2 shout-outs here real quick. First off, Hop on Pop is heading to CrossFit, but he checked in for a few minutes, so thank you to Pop, always doing all that kind of stuff. And then we were just talking about him with his Jets Collective podcast. I'm sure that's going to be a theme on a week-to-week basis with all the nuggets they drop, that it's going to work its way whatever week or day the episode happens to be on this. In this particular case, it was Thursday night, so heading into a Friday show, we have juicy nuggets to talk about. So salute to Jake Asman. Death, taxes, and Friday Bob Lederer, where Bob Lederer is back to his natural position. Last week, we had him in a different part of the batting lineup, in the batting order, and Bob executed there, so he's pretty versatile. He brings a little Arvell Reeser, play a little stack linebacker, a little bit of pass rush action, perhaps can cover a little bit on the back end of the defense. There's some versatility here with Bob Lederer.
And trying to find a room in the house where I could do this today.
See? That's the kind of dedication we appreciate, Bob. But it looks like you're in the same room as always. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
No? Oh, does that bulletin board behind you move with you?
It moves with me. It's
wow.
it's attached to the back of my head. I guess you can't really see that.
But. No, I guess I can't. But this is a better look at it. Beyond Broadway Joe, the Super Bowl team that changed football. Bob,
I've always been very proud of that cover of that book, and I especially like that picture. I thought that picture really captured the essence of the team. And I used to kid Pete Lamons, may he rest in peace. Mm-hmm. I said, God, any young man, any young woman at that time who had seen you in that picture, he was 87. You must have been a hot commodity.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, Bob, by the way, Mother's Day, Father's Day, all kinds of other holidays are coming up. Beyond Broadway Joe, you can pick this up wherever books are found online, correct, Bob? A little Amazon action?
Yeah, it is actually. But yeah, I noticed last week when I took a look, really hard to get one of the hard copies. They basically have kind of sold out. But of course, there are the soft covers, and there is a digital audio edition, which was done pretty well. I think I've told you before. I wanted to do that myself, but the publisher didn't think it was a good idea. So whatever.
Yeah, well, I have one of those apparently elite hardcover copies behind me, which is beautiful. So, thank you to the people. I knew the right people. Was able to, secure one, get my hands on one of those. So I appreciate that. So thank you, Jake, for the super chat. Great show last night with you, Brandon Tierney, and Rich Samini. And if you missed,
they keep moving it around, wasn't it originally on Tuesdays?
Yeah, it's apparently it's going to be a little free flowing during the off season because of all their varying schedules. But once we get to the season, I believe there is a thought to potentially do it twice a week, and one of those episodes will be Tuesday each week. So they do a great job, and Jake announced it yesterday. I'm now a part of the team behind the scenes at the Jets Collective, so appreciate them bringing me in, and I'll be helping out with their social media. So you guys will start seeing clips like the clips I just played and others. So make sure you guys stay tuned. That's at NYJetsHMA on Twitter. So guys, make sure you guys jump in that army. And yes, here's another great topic. Thank you, Troy, on Twitter. Whoa, a lot of comments are coming in all at once. Troy says, "Hey, PG, looks like Simpson's going to attend the draft." Let's react to that, Bob. Have you seen the list of people that are going to the draft?
No, but I saw the big guy who's not attending the draft.
Oh, yeah. Give me your thoughts on that real quick, and I'll pull it up from the NFL, and you can react to who's going to the
talk
draft.
About a fait accompli. That's about it. I don't know. I would think that should be a big moment in his career when he takes that walk, out to the center stage and gets the bear hug from the commish. And gets his Oakland, or I should say Raiders uniform. I don't really pay too much attention to who's there and who isn't, except obviously it can be an indication of guys who don't think that they're going, really early in the draft, and they don't want to be embarrassed.
All right, so here's the list of players. I'm going to run through them real quick, because I'm going to be here in person, and I want you to tell me how confident I should feel that at picks 2 and 16, of course, they can always move, but with all the information we have now, that I'm going to see both of the, and I'll run through all the names for the audio-only listeners as well. I want to know how confident I should be that perhaps the Jets are going to take 2 of these names, basically, and I'm going to see them come on the stage, get the jersey, get the hat, and all that jazz. Here they are in no particular order. You have David Bailey, Reuben Bain Jr., Mansour Delane, Caleb Downs, Keldrick Falk, Colton Hood, Makai Lemon, Jeremiah Love, Francis Mauingoa, Caden McDonald, Caden Proctor, Arvell Reese, Ty Simpson, Sonny Styles, Carnell Tate, Jordan Tyson. Are the Jets drafting two of these guys in the first round?
I don't know. I think, Jordan Tyson's people are going to have to pay very close attention to the situation, right up until the draft. Again, there's a guy who doesn't want to get embarrassed by dropping and dropping and dropping.
For sure. There are all the big three receivers here, though. There's the top two defenders that we no matter what you think, it seems likely it's David Bailey or Arvell Reese. So both of them are going to be there. The top three receivers are going to be there. And I agree with this hot take, perhaps from NC Green. He thinks the Jets could take Jermod McCoy, the corner out of Tennessee, at 16. I think that could be like the shot. I don't know if he's on the board, quite frankly. I think he's going to be gone by then. But if he's on the board, that could be a sneaky, like, whoa, the Jets did what? I could sort of potentially see that one. Yeah.
I was reading early this morning. Nick Farrier, your buddy.
Yeah, was writing from about JetsXFactor.com.
Yeah. I think it was he on Jets X Factor. Was writing about the little receivers. In other words, the guys under 6'1", who were apparently undersized in the Frank Reich system, and that the kid from USC is held in a little bit less regard because he is smaller
and slot only. They say,
and has shorter arm length, which you would expect from a shorter guy. So. But on the other hand, it said, he's only the OC. He's not the head coach. And so he might get overruled. But out of everybody on this list, I think Jordan Tyson would be the one who would be potentially most concerned. And he could easily come up with an excuse that he couldn't get to Pittsburgh. There's no direct flights from Phoenix to Pittsburgh or something like that. Because I think you'll agree with me. A lot of these guys don't want to get embarrassed. I mean, we all remember when our buddy, the former Jets quarterback from Green Bay, sat in
Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers sat.
And the cameras were on him the whole time.
Finally could let out, the big gush of air.
And back in those days, remember, it was 15 minutes per pick. So, and there's all this drama with the draft, too. So, it goes even beyond that. Good Lord, he was sitting there for hours, and the cameras were just on him. And they had to do an interview. I think it was Hannah Storm at the time. I'm dating myself back to the mid-2000s. But, she's like, hey, how does it feel to not be drafted? So far, and he's like, it sucks. Thanks. I was like, Jesus, woman, what are we doing? Who told her to go in that room for that interview?
What's the time between the picks now? Is it 10 minutes or is it less?
Is now down to 8. It's a new rule change this year. So basically, the NFL wants a quicker pace because most of the time, I've done a few of these live draft shows where it's like a sort of a mega cast, so 20 or 30 minutes before the draft starts, 7:30, I hop on and then I'm there through the end of the draft of the first round. And I've been routinely there till midnight, 1 a.m. of just doing the picks before any real pre or post analysis. So they go.
When you add ABC to the coverage,
the
network I think wants a little bit tighter, programming.
Which is smart,
Doesn't matter on ESPN. Doesn't really matter on the NFL Network.
Right.
The ABC television network, that's something else.
Yeah. So, so 8-minute picks. So that may be better for me being there in person. Maybe that'll make it seem even faster. I don't know what it's going to seem like. Because like I said, I've never been to a draft before. So
Hop on Pop thinks that Bailey is a BS presumption.
Wait, say that one more time.
You said before, I believe, that your dad thinks that all the talk about Bailey is BS.
Oh, actually, no, I have no idea. I'm just saying that, I said you have a journalistic antenna, like some people do, that if you hear some information, it doesn't sound right, it sort of goes off. My father doesn't have a journalistic antenna. He did not go to school to be a journalist. His is probably called a BS meter. So his is it's the same thing, but a different name for it.
Well,
I think.
But you know, if you get Daniel Jeremiah and Albert Breer, in particular, because I hear those guys a lot here, even in Chicago,
for sure.
If you hear them talking up Bailey, you know, as we get closer to the draft, then you know it's to me it's more realistic. It doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Who knows, right?
You know, Mel Kiper won't. I don't know who does Mel Kiper have the Jets taking. I know he's done a couple of mock drafts.
He has. I don't know what he has on the latest one, but and he's going to have. I think it's probably one more before the draft. They sort of cycle around because they have so many analysts, right? You have Field Yates, Jordan Reed, Matt Miller, Mel Kiper. So they try to rotate and give everyone sort of their moment in the sun on a week-to-week basis. Smart on them. They're marketing it quite well. But yeah, Mel Kiper's one of my favorites, and I just heard Mel. They just did this mega show where they do a certain mock draft style, and I know a lot of people hate Mel because they're like, you know, where's the accuracy? Where's the accuracy? I don't follow the people for the accuracy. That's cool. There are a few out there in the universe that are really good at this, and they have really good information, and I pay close attention to those mocks.
Well, you know, Mel Kiper once was the act. He was it.
Of course. And he's the reason why we're doing this right now for draft.
Exactly. Talk. And here was a guy who was not affiliated with anybody in the NFL, who just was going about and doing the work himself and talking to people and watching games and looking at video clips and such. And except for members of the Jeff Lagerman fan club, I think he's built up a lot of supporters over the years, and certainly everybody wants to know what Mel Kiper thinks, but now he's on the list of people that you want to hear from. So it's we're getting closer now. We're 2 weeks, less
13
than 2 weeks.
days away. 13 days away. Yep. So we'll see. Which, by the way, everybody, for all that, I'm still figuring out a lot of key details. I'm bringing my gear with me on the road, but I'm going to be in a hotel room with Johnny Boy. Hopefully the Wi-Fi is good. I do the show every day. The only break in the Boy Green dailies where I haven't been able to do one was actually however many years ago would that be? Would it be what was the Klecko Revis Hall of Fame year? Was that 23? I think
was 3 years ago.
So 3 years ago. So my Boy Green Daily episode streak came to a crashing halt because of Wi-Fi. Well, I mean, I guess technically, some people saw the show of me going beep boop bop beep boop bop with the terrible Wi-Fi. So there was a show. It was just terrible.
Can you talk to the hotel ahead of time?
Yeah, I did actually at that point, and then also leading up about, hey, Wi-Fi situation and getting special Wi-Fi, try to do all the things, and for some reason it crapped out. So heading into this hotel, we souped it up. We're going to a nice hotel, so hopefully that's good news for all the shows. So, folks, stay tuned. Long story short, to those. Either way, we'll definitely have stuff come from the phone. How are the phones better than the computers? I'll never know in my mind. But we'll have content up for sure on the YouTube channel. Some cool live stuff about whatever the hell's going on. But hopefully, we can also give you guys.
Yeah, you can. Hopefully, you can test it. You can test it all out the night before and know for sure that
fingers crossed,
everything is all lined up.
100%.
Because we don't want Jake Asman to miss you and I and everybody else on Friday.
Of course not. That's going to be huge. Reacting to day one, previewing day two. That's one of the best shows of the year. So hopefully not. So we want to make sure that is all are good. By the way, I want to give a shout out. Here's our raffle prize for this month. Speaking of the draft, the brand new 2026 NFL draft tab for the Jets, we have added to the pile of action. All you have to do to be eligible is spend $3 on the channel, folks. And if you're new to the channel, we do raffles every single month. And each month, all you have to do is spend $3 on the channel to get one raffle ticket. Obviously, the more raffle tickets you get, the better your odds are. But people have won this raffle with one raffle ticket before. And the items on your screen, I can tell you, because as the person who bought all these items, it's more than $3. So you get your bang for your buck if you win. So I highly recommend everyone out there in the universe. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that little money sign. You could super chat, super sticker, or gift channel memberships. Also, feel free to hit that join button. Join the Boy Green Coffee Club. And you guys would have gotten early access to the Judy Batista interview that hit this week, way earlier this week, Monday. I was going to say last week. We've had a lot of interviews this week. Mitch Dahlen, the former Alabama football coach with Ty Simpson the last 2 years. We had a 30-minute sit-down talking Ty Simpson. That, to me, was fascinating. So a lot of interviews. What are your perks of being a Boy Green Coffee Club members getting early access to those chats? So, again, we got the brand new Jets draft hat. We got a 50-pack of New York Jets trading cards. You see it there. Matt Snell is in there. Joe Namath. There's a lot of Garrett Wilson. There's current players, old players. And you guys can collect them or have them with your kids or bring them out to events and get them signed. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. And then, of course, for Bobby Jr., the old Sauce Gardner jersey. I plan on wearing my Sauce Gardner jersey every time I watch a Colts game this year as a anti-juju to hope
make sure you mention this again when he comes on later.
Oh, great. Oh, is he coming on later? Oh, spectacular.
Yes.
Great. Oh, I can't wait. I'll let him know personally that I was thinking of him when I added that prize in to the pile. That is great.
So because I missed it and I am very curious. Okay. So what did the former coach have to say? What were the highlights of what he thought about this kid as an NFL quarterback?
Yeah, so one of the big things I want to do, especially if I get any other coaches on too, is, hey, here's what the critics are saying about your guy. What's your response to that? For instance, we nearly had the USC wide receivers coach on because Mekhi Lemon has a lot of heat coming at him. I'm curious what his coach thinks. Was with him the entire time. We'll have to wait. He had to reschedule, so hopefully we get that in before the draft. But for Mitch Dahlen, who, again, was in the Alabama quarterback room the last 2 years, the big criticism for Ty is, hey, man, he's only got 15 college starts. What gives? Like, what do you say to those people? Because there are a lot of numbers and historical data that says quarterbacks with that limited experience do not do well in the NFL. You know, what's your response? And he says that I believe, Coach Dahlen saying this, there's a big asterisk on that 15 college starts because he has really had 55 starts. And he explained how he's been a son of a coach and that he's been preparing, like a starter, and that they've had all these unique experiences at Alabama, which has put him in a much more experienced position than other quarterbacks. Now, some people are going to hear that and go, well, that's a coach defending his guy. And perhaps so. But those are some of the things that he sort of indicated about that. You guys could go watch the full thing. And actually, I believe I clipped up that part of it. That's also up on our YouTube video section where he talks about the big asterisk and why he believes that and this is the other thing he said, and I have heard this as well, so it's not that surprising, that Ty Simpson has killed it in the private meetings, because in the private meetings, when he met with the Jets and other teams, they put him on the whiteboard. He's a son of a coach. He's talking football language to these coaches. He's breaking down things, and coach was giving a couple examples of a shaded corner, this Mike linebacker, this technique, this. He says that Ty Simpson is fluent in football lingo, so you can't catch him with his pants down when you're talking football. He's always going to impress. So he says, when people get in the room, they go, oh, I don't, this is coach saying this. He says, when you get Ty Simpson in a room, they go, oh, I don't care about the 15 start thing anymore. Obviously, look at this guy. He's got a wealth of knowledge. So that was sort of his response to the heat.
Now, he spent 4 years at Alabama. He didn't have any JC time, did he?
JC?
Junior college.
No. Yeah. Ty Simpson was there at Alabama for 4 years.
Well, he's a different kind of quarterback from his predecessor, who was much more mobile. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The kid who's he on now? Seattle. Super
Bowl champion Jalen Milroe.
Yeah, but he was much more of a mobile quarterback, much more of a running quarterback, bigger physically, big, stronger, probably weighed. I'm going to guess he weighed 15, 20 pounds more than this kid does. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they said he had a great arm. I really was never all that impressed by his accuracy, at Alabama. So it's a different kind of animal. If Saban had been there all these years, I probably would be much less concerned about.
He did cross over with Saban a little bit during his tenure, but obviously not as a starter.
Yeah, but not having Saban there for a lot of the time, for at least half
the time, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. maybe you're not going to get him. Be a fascinating conversation with Saban. In fact, he's going to be on the coverage, I'm sure, on draft
for
night.
ABC for sure,
Yeah.
Definitely. What will he say about Ty?
Yeah, and somebody's going to ask him before, probably after, about the kid. So
if they don't, they're not doing their job. That's one of the reasons you have a Nick Saban on with all his connections, for sure.
Yeah. So
right. Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Bob, is there I wanted to make sure we got to the phone lines early for people, but is there anything else that's sort of stuck in your craw? It's been like a week and a half since we've had you on the show.
No, not really. It's
okay.
How much can you talk to death? What's coming up in 13 days?
Well, as someone who does this every day, a lot.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I really respect what you do.
Thank you.
I know how difficult it is, but I also know that when you're living and dying and breathing, as you and few other guys do, with the past, the present, and more importantly, right now, the future, that there are so many angles to this that can keep going. And when I was watching earlier in the week, I guess on Monday and Tuesday, when you'd bring some of the guys together to talk particularly about a particular running back and figuring out how the Jets, could maneuver and get him. It's interesting, but again, it's 13 days away, and I think the day before, everyone's going to just say, "Thank God it's tomorrow."
I mean, people are. I've seen this comment quite frequently in my spaces. Again, I do Boy Green Daily, I do Boy Green Meets Woody, I do all these other shows, and the comment is like, "Oh my God, can the draft get here already?" Now, I get it. I'm going to be there, so like, I should want this to rush faster than anybody because this should be very neat. I really enjoy the process. I enjoy doing these shows. I enjoy these rumors. I enjoy mock drafts. I enjoy just trying to marinate and swim in all of it. And I know some people are ready for that to be over because it happens for months. And if you're a Jets fan, it happens even longer than that because you've been looking at mock drafts since September. So,
particularly since I told everybody that Justin Fields was not the answer.
That's also true. So I guess that dates back into March when he was first signed. Yeah,
I was the one who brought up the name of the Illinois quarterback only half jokingly before the college season started.
Yeah,
and I've already heard several callers in here and on Jake's show make reference, to him. So he's going to go in the draft
for sure. Definitely,
the kid has got some skills. But he's probably like a number 3 with very, very strong leadership, capability. Yeah. And of course, I'm not coming up with his name as usual.
It's Luke Altmaier.
Altmaier. Yeah. Luke Altmaier. And he played 3 full years at Illinois. So he got all the reps.
Johnny Bull is a massive Luke Altmaier fan, so he brings him up like basically on every call in the universe. So, but Bob, you were the first one to put it out there. So, yeah.
Yes, I was. And the kid's he doesn't have a gun, but he's got a strong arm, and he's particularly adept at late fourth quarter rallies. He's really good at that.
We need that.
He keeps his cool, and he won a lot of games for the Illini, driving him downfield and under the last 3 minutes or whatever. So the kid's a player. The Jets could do worse than taking him late in the draft.
Hey, I've got former, and I see we have a super chat coming in here, but I also have former Illinois quarterback Tommy DeVito's football right here after he transferred from Syracuse, the old autographed Tommy DeVito ball. Now he's in New England after going to the Super Bowl last year as the backup quarterback. So, and he got himself a new handsome contract. So shout out to him and Sean Stellato. Backup quarterback is the best job in the world. Tommy, you're getting paid millions of dollars, food, all these celebrity events where you go to like a pizza joint and you're signing autographs and stuff. Oh my God, to be a backup quarterback.
Everybody loves him. Everybody has the greatest expectations from him. And he never has to go on the field and do anything except in the last 2 minutes when your team is 15-1 and it's the last game of the season and they don't want the quarterback to get hurt.
Right. So, isn't that perfect, right? That everyone hypes you up because your grass always greener. Ooh, my favorite player is the backup quarterback. It's always that guy. And then you never have to go into the game.
Go out there and earn your $3 million. Yeah, go ahead.
And you never have to go into the game to disappoint them. So forever, they're just going to think like, oh, this is the greatest guy of all time. And you can't disappoint them. You're just like, yeah, maybe I am.
If you can hang on long enough, the way the NFL money keeps growing and growing and growing, you could be a backup quarterback and be making like $10 million a year.
Yeah, it's a great gig if you could get it. That's
you know what? I did. There was something I wanted to talk about.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Our friend who signed on with the Raiders and is getting getting $20 million for 2 years.
Well, 1 year. Yeah, he's getting $20 million.
But he's got a guarantee. But I think he's got a guarantee. I thought I read he had a guarantee for $10 million even in the second year or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So here's just the long story short, and then I want to get to whatever your point is that yes, on the third or fourth day of the new league year next year, he could get an extra bonus. But basically, the Falcons were already paying him all this money anyway, and the Raiders are paying him an additional $10 million. So essentially, I know people are seeing a lot of 5 years, $162 million. It's none of that. It's truly basically just a 1 year deal for $20 million for this year, where he can either be the bridge starter or Fernando just takes his lunch money.
That's a ton of money for an iffy.
Sure. But anywho, yes. What about Kirk?
My point about him is,
yeah,
he's sure talking tough about being the number one guy and of competing for the job.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to tell you, if their offensive line is as bad this year as it was last year, I think Fernando is going to be really happy to say, go out there and go play 5, 6, 7 games and let's see what happens. And that insurance policy you have, when does it kick in?
Yeah, right. Exactly. If I'm the Raiders, that explains why the $20 million. I don't want Fernando to get beat up and Joey Harringtoned. So let someone else take it.
And I don't think the Jets would have given him $20 million to be, to be the guy that, that we
because he was one of those guys with Tua, Geno, and a bunch of others that obviously Kirk was and his agent are the best. He was able to work beyond the veteran minimum, which he was expected to sign. Kirk was, Tua, Geno, and a couple of these other guys were all expected to sign the veteran minimum because their previous teams were eating all the cap. So shout out to Kirk's agent, of course, is the greatest agent of all time. If I ever do anything, I need to hire him as an agent. He worked extra money into it that no other team was offering. So he obviously can walk on water, whoever that guy is. So I don't think the Jets would have done that, but who knows if they're really interested. Jets came out quickly and said they weren't interested, but that's like, again, if I knew a girl was going to reject me, I wouldn't ask her out. So, different strokes, different folks there, I suppose. But NC Green with a $5 super chat. Appreciate it. Wow. There was a time when we would stop everything if we heard Mel Kiper was coming on ESPN. Now we have overload. I can't speak for everyone, NC Green, but I'll speak for myself. When I hear Mel Kiper is doing something, I still run to my TV or digital thing or whatever. When Mel Kiper's mock draft comes out, that's appointment reading for me. He's on this First Draft podcast every week with Mike Greenberg, who I know some Jet fans are half and half on, but I love Greeny. He's a big reason that I'm doing this. He was one of my idols growing up on Mike and Mike and a Jets fan and all that other stuff. So I love Kiper, and I will always love Kiper. And the hair, the passion for the draft. He's been doing it forever. He is the draft. And I know some younger folk don't give him the respect he deserves. He 100% deserves respect. If he doesn't do what he does, we're not talking about the draft. We're not doing mock drafts. We're not doing mock draft shows. We're not doing anywhere the near dedication of turning it into the television product it is today without Mel Kiper. So he's the godfather of the NFL drafts. Hopefully one day I get him on the show. That would be a bucket list thing to do. But I still respect Kiper.
And I keep waiting for him to show up either with a receding hairline or much less hair.
Yep, and look at that. He loves pumpkin pie, and so do I. He's got great taste. Pumpkin pie is the best. Which, by the way, we'll be getting closer to that season in apparently a bunch of months. Yeah.
Hey, how we doing on a number of viewers, BG?
We have 200 people in the room, including over 100 of those watching right now on YouTube. So a good reminder to like the video and hit that subscribe button. We're getting closer and closer. Let me see. What's the latest milestone we're closing in on? I believe it's 8,340. My math may be terrible there, actually.
Well, that's pretty good. So we're getting closer to 18.5, 8.5.
Or yes, we do have 8-5. I'm an idiot because I can't count. So that's terrible. We have obviously surpassed over 8-5. So we're getting closer to 8,540 is the number that we're getting
Okay,
close
so
to.
we're
And
getting
again,
close to 6. So let's
yeah.
try to set a goal, guys, that
Okay.
by draft day Thursday, the 23rd, that we're going to get BG over 8-6.
Okay, there you go. That is for the math at home. That is 64 people away from 8,600. So let's see if you can tell a friend, family member, spread the word of all things Boy Green Daily for the shows, the guests perhaps that are coming on, and then the exclusive content will be at the NFL draft. So we'll be getting some cool stuff, and I can't wait for that. So there you go, Bob. You set the line in the sand. Let's see if we could get to 8,600 and keep chipping away. That would be
That's
pretty
only
sweet.
like 5 a day, so let's do it.
Oh, okay. That's good math. I didn't even put that math
I
together.
know you've talked about how math is not your forte. So
Definitely not. No.
yeah.
Even though I got into a math elite program when I was a kid, that we went to a state math competition. I'm not sure again how I got past that initial test,
Well,
but I did.
You knew all the uniform numbers.
Apparently so, and I don't know how that helped. And I was on the news that night, looking very hard at a calculator as if I was figuring out some equation that, spoiler alert, I wasn't. I was just looking at it because I knew a camera was on me. So, yep, former mathlete. Great times. All right, let's hit the phone lines, people. We'll play a quick cap timeout, and we'll come back with your phone calls. Those are welcome here on youtube.com/BoyGreen25.
1, 2, 3.
That's the spirit. Let's go, baby. I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. This is Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. And I'm joined by one of the most accomplished authors of all time. It is Bob Lederer, Beyond Broadway Joe, the Super Bowl team that changed football forever. That book's always over my shoulder, but here's a much better look at it. And again, there's always a good excuse to purchase this puppy for a father, brother, sister, mother, cousin, gardener, nephew, perhaps. What about your doctor? Maybe he could use one of these. Beyond Broadway Joe. Let's keep selling these books out.
You will be inspired. You'll be inspired if you read the book.
I can attest. I've read it several times. It's there behind me. And again, I think, it is the most, what's the right way to phrase this? I just feel like it transcends time. There are some books that I have on my shelf that were important in 1998, and then it's over. I mean, you could reread it, I guess, but it was a moment in time book. This book, you can read at any time, and it will forever give you the full synopsis of this team, player by player, dedication, and you'll just really enjoy it. And again, I think it sort of transcends time.
And I had the same feeling that you did. Frankly, the book came out in 2018 to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Super Bowl win. And my thought was, okay, the book will be relevant for about 6 months. And then I was told by book people, this book's going to be relevant for 50 years because it's the only one of its kind that really goes into all the players, who they were, where they came from, how they fit, what their memories and such.
And the team's iconic, Bob. It's the first Super Bowl for the Jets, and only at this point ever. So, like, this book will always be held in that regard. If they win, here's the thing: if the Jets won the Super Bowl next year, you know, want to know what people would do? They'd be bringing back up Super Bowl III, which I would imagine would give a surge to the book sales again to go back to that Super Bowl. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a timeless
I
piece.
agree, and it's it just, as I've said several times, too many times. It really taught me about the game of football. And a lot of the OGs here, know a lot. Some of you guys have actually played organized football, which I never did. But the fact that I had the opportunity to talk on an ongoing basis, even after the book came out, with a number of these guys.
I'm jealous.
And they would tell me, like I would never forget, I'm talking to Larry Grantham, who was one of the 3 starting linebackers. And I would talk to him the day after a Jets game and say, so what'd you see yesterday? And he would say, I'll tell you, partner. and one of the big points he made to me, and I've said this several times here, is when you see blown coverages all over the field,
right,
it's because the players have not really taken the time to study the film, or there's something a little bit missing up here that they just don't retain what they're being told they need to remember. Because that's really what football is all about. The X's and O's are very, very predicated on where you're supposed to be and when you're supposed to be there, and your instincts becoming what takes over, because you've been drilled so many times. When this tight end or this flanker or this running back does this, you have to do that to support the rest of the team. And so it's that kind of a book without getting, too, dimensional and having to be a football coach type player, which I'm not. But it'll tell you a lot of things about the Jets and about the philosophies that went into building that team. We brought up a couple of weeks ago that Weeb Eubank, the head coach, and the assistant coaches who did all the scouting, Saturday before every Sunday game, the handful of Jet offensive and defensive coaches, assistant coaches, were not with the team. They were out scouting the colleges.
Wow.
And what a different time and a different place.
Sure.
And they would always ask the coaches in the college, ranks, who is the best but smartest guys that you have on offense and defense. The Jets were not a team that overwhelmed you with size, but they were very smart. And they made all kinds of, and I'm not talking about trick plays, but they could execute and they could understand what the other team was doing and what they could do, to take advantage of that. So enough. I've gone too far about this, but let's move on.
Yeah, someone else who's smart, Jake Asman, he's gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership. Oh, yeah, let's go. That's the spirit. Banku 67. You are now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to Jake Asman. Another raffle ticket for our contest. Someone asked, where's that footage of me smartly looking into a there it is from Jets Worldwide. Where's the BG calculator film footage? My mother had it on to record it. I don't think it was VHS days. It might have been just slightly after that. It might have been TiVo, and she just had it, the news segment that they did on it that night. So I don't know if my mom still has that. That's good. I don't know if she's listening to the show right now, but we'll try to see if we can grab that footage wherever it is. And again, Jake has been saying Friday Bob Lederer for life. Someone should get that tattooed on him. Friday Bob Lederer for life. That'd be nice.
Let's see if we can get on the back of my head so it doesn't distract too much.
There you go. All right. Before we go back or start the phone lines, I guess we haven't gone back yet. But Sharon jumps in with a super chat. She's been a member for 19 months. There should be an award for such things. I appreciate you, Sharon.
Wow.
I know you'd love the Notre Dame shirt I'm wearing today, Sharon, but let's get into it. Trade Brees and Jamian, pick 33 and a first rounder next year to the Titans for pick 466, 101, and Will Levis. Pick Cardinal Tate, Jeremiah Love at 16, and Thin Mints or Ode, or I own a Vega. Interesting. Wow, there's a lot to unpack here. Brees Hall, Jamie Sherwood, pick 33, one of our first rounders next year for 466 101 Will Levis. Good night. That is wow. Okay, there's a lot of layers
She's
to this,
got
Bob.
Sharon, you have a future as a general manager.
Yeah, that's for sure. There's a lot of layers to this. I'm curious though if the Titans, who have Cam Ward, would be willing to give up the 4th overall pick for some stuff. I get that Brees Hall's fun and there's 33 and that would be very important, and there's a first rounder next year. But with Tennessee, I believe the clock is ticking. They want to surround Cam Ward with as much activity as possible. And while Brees Hall would certainly do that, would they be willing to forego the entire first round for that? I'm not sure, but it's interesting. It's an interesting trade thought. I mean, to get Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Love, maybe some Vega action. I mean, that is, she could be going to Vegas. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's, well, boy, I'd have to sit down and really look at that very closely.
Yeah, I'm going to need the draft value chart, right? It's a little too much for me to sort of take it all in, but let me marinate on it, Sharon.
They would be getting a haul, of NFL-ready veteran players.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
But how much does Rob Saleh value? How much does he value Jamie Sherwood and Brees Hall?
And Brees, for that matter? Yeah, that I don't know. So I guess we'll figure it out. But good stuff, Sharon. Again, let me marinate on that one. Maybe I can come back before the end of the show, or maybe it'll be the show tomorrow to truly give you a better feedback on that one. All right, Bob, let's go to our first caller.
Oh, I've been ready for this for the whole week.
Okay.
Hey, Hep.
There he is.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, Hep. Hey, Hep. Do you remember "Sing Along with Mitch"?
I do.
Okay. Well, I think we just have to add lyrics underneath your little photo video thing there, and then we could do "Sing Along with Hep."
Oh, well, wow, it's not much to the lyrics. It's Boy Green, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, and then the other part goes offense, defense, special teams. Watch Jets football with Boy Green.
Did you?
That's a good point.
Did you write the original lyrics?
I did.
Yeah. How many seconds did it take you to write that up?
Hey, now wait just a second.
Actually, when I write things like that, I write with a purpose. With the idea is to put like a worm in your head, like one of those things where it's like I can't get it out of my head. So the tricky part was getting the Jets chant into the song, the J-E-T-T. That was the trickier part.
So how does it work? You do the lyrics first and then you write the music? How does it work?
It depends, but this time I was doing the music, and first you just kind of like do fake words like fake words, and then you kind of like, oh, that sounds like that, and then you kind of it morphs into something else.
Sorry, Mike. Sorry.
Oh, that's fascinating. Because I don't know how many people are going to get there. I bet people are not going to have this reference I'm about to make on their bingo card for April 10th. But I saw the movie A Star Is Born that had Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, sure.
And, when someone brought that up, I'm like, I would never watch that kind of movie. Get lost. And then I watch it, I'm like, oh my God, that's like this is a phenomenal movie. But like in there, she's saying the same thing you are. Like, because Bradley Cooper at one point in the movie goes, what are you doing there? She's like, I'm working on a song. And she goes, da, 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 da. And then she's like figuring out the beat and then puts the word. I'm not a musician at all, so I have no idea what the hell anyone's talking about. But I heard it, and like then you were just talking about like, oh wow, that's the thing that musicians do. It's pretty cool.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about a little different approach to this. All right. Now, basically, we were the worst team in football last year, and we were so bad that we didn't even get number one pick. I mean,
that's even worse than the number one pick. That's a good point.
Classic, right? Yeah. I mean, we basically had our pants pulled down right in front of everyone in the NFL. It was totally embarrassing.
And we were going, look.
Yeah, right. Look at what I can do.
Yeah.
But it was like, here we are, and I want to get something for those picks, and I want to make sure that we get a little compensation. So I want to look at the picks that are available to us, and how many of those guys in this year's draft are going to be top 5 at their position. Now, we know that Mendoza is not going to be top 5 coming out right now, or even within a couple of years. Do you even think he'll be a top 5 quarterback?
Who's that?
Mendoza?
Top 5. I mean, no. And at
No, I
this
don't
current
think so
Not
moment,
either.
no,
immediately.
I
Are you
don't.
talking
No.
about eventually?
Yeah, I don't think he'll be.
I don't know. I didn't know
player.
eventually. Like, think about the top Joe Burrows, Patrick Mahomes, all these guys. No, I can't see myself saying Fernando Mendoza. But hell, I'll be honest. I didn't see the CJ Stroud rookie year coming or
That's
some of
true.
these other years. So sometimes you get surprised. But right now,
Sometimes.
no,
No, I wouldn't
absolutely
say
not.
so, right?
No.
You see
no.
Reese being the top five player at his position with what it is. There's a lot of good defensive ends out
There's
there.
a lot of good pass rushers. Yeah.
If the Jets had a good quarterback
Mm-hmm.
with the offensive line that they have and that they're going to continue to build on, I believe, I think he could be a top 5.
Mendoza?
No.
Oh, Reese.
Reese. Yeah.
Maybe, but we don't even know exactly what he is. So I was looking at, so instead of going through each player, I was looking at, I scoped them all out. And there's 3 players that I see possibly being top 5 at their positions. Okay. I see Jeremiah Love.
Yes.
I see Vega. And I see Sadiq. Yes. I think those 3 guys, those 2-3 guys can be the top 5 at their position.
I'd agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I want to get those guys. I want to get the guys that are the best, one of the best in the league. Not like mediocre players, just to fill a roster. I mean, we have so many holes anyway. So why don't we go for the cream of the crop?
That's a super interesting way to think about it, Hap, about how do you get guys that are top 5 of their positions, and sort of like if you get enough of those guys, like, how are you not winning football games? So, like, it's your song thing of figuring out, maybe it's the beat I have to figure out first, and then I plug in the players, is that I agree with you on all 3 of what you just said. Kenny Sadiq, 100% I could see that. Vega,
that is a fascinating way to look at it, Hep. I have to tell you. A lot of the times people say best available player or best player at that position we need to fill.
Yeah.
But the idea of getting guys who, who are going to be top 5 or even top 10 players at their position and not that far down the road is a very interesting concept. And it brings up another point. This is not totally relevant, but I'd like to pick both your brains on this.
Okay.
Have you guys been able to figure out how every time Arvell Reese gets drafted in our mock drafts, the rating is B-?
Yeah, I noticed that too.
BG, yeah. I mean, what? I mean, I know it's the system that they've set up, but who do they want the Jets to pick that would get an A?
David Bailey is high in their system, so that's one that if you do again, but it's sort of, I bring this up every time for fantasy football. I play on the Yahoo Fantasy Football app, and we do the live draft, and I input everything that people did, or we do an online draft. They immediately go beep boop bop. Here's your grade, Paul. Here's how you did. Whoa, a D. And they said, yeah, you took this one guy that we don't like basically in our ranking, so screw you. So, like, they're really sort of meaningless, but I factor it in the way I factor in a lot of things in my life. If I like the grade, then I say, this is the greatest thing of all time. I'm a genius. I'm the man. That's how it works, people. And then if the grade sucks, I'm like, who cares? It's a stupid grade. Why would I care about what they say? So, again, I just operate with what I rationalize whatever the results are. So, yeah, apparently it's a David Bailey thing, or early it was a Ruben Bain thing. They had Ruben Bain super high in their rankings before.
He might be out of the 10 now.
Yeah, right now it's the other way completely.
So I'm going to cut out, but before I leave, I want to tell you about Bob's book. It's kind of like what everything they said it is, but it's also a little different. It's kind of like you're hanging out with the guys. You're in the, you know what I mean? You're in the locker room with them, and it's kind of an intimate book. You're hearing these stories, and it's like kind of like you're hanging out with them. It's kind of an intimate read. And it's like I liken it like, I'm going to hang out with my friends on the Jets today, and I'll read a couple of chapters.
With one or two exceptions, that was the feeling I got in talking with them.
Oh, it came across
that they enjoyed telling me. First of all, they enjoyed telling me their stories because, as I explained, from the very first guy that I talked to, a lot of the attitude was, geez, nobody has talked to me in 48 years.
Yeah.
This is such a nice situation. And I really, when I would call them up afterwards and just have a question or two or whatever, they would immediately perk up and say, "Hey, yeah, Bob, let's talk some more. What can we answer for you?" It was very, very casual and very upbeat. So you're right. You make a very, very good point there, Hep.
And I would say the other thing to carry off of what Hep just said is it's not that you just wrote about a lot of players and you didn't talk to any of them and you just wrote about it's more, I'm simplifying this, but like there's some people that just Google, okay, here's the basic information, and then they input that into the book. You didn't just Google. You spoke with these players. You got intimate information that you wove into the words, right? 100%. So like you're getting that. You're getting into that conversation when you read.
I told them in the first minute that I spoke with them, I was a fan of yours from the start.
Thank you,
I may not have been a fan.
The players. Not me.
But
yes,
they,
right.
There's two things that stand out, and I've told these stories before. But Billy Joe gave me 1 hour. Billy Joe was a backup fullback who got hurt that year, had his knee torn up in the Heidi game. But he told me originally, I'll give you 1 hour. And we talked for an hour. And after 55 minutes, I said, okay, I've only got 5 minutes left. Let me see what else I want to ask you. And Billy said, stop right there. We'll talk as long as you want to talk because you really know that team.
Oh, that's cool.
And
you earned it, Bob. That's your stripes of right.
Yeah.
This guy's like, who's this random writer? Sure, fine. I'll give you time. And you prove your own worth with your research and everything during that. He's like, all right, I'll give you more time. That's a great badge of honor for you, Bob.
And Billy Baird, who still to this time has the Jets record for most interceptions by defensive back over a career. I called him, we talked, and I said, Billy, I have to tell you my single biggest memory of you. And he said, what was that? And I said, every year I would buy Street and Smith's football book. And every year they would say, this has got to be the year the Jets finally get rid of Billy Baird. and he laughed and he said, he said, I know what you're saying is true, although I didn't really see the magazines. I was busy playing, but they did move me from left corner to right corner to free safety, back to left corner. So they were, and as a starter, not as some backup guy. And he was there from 63 when the Colts cut him and Winston Hill and Bake Turner and Mark Smolinski. And they were all still there in the Super Bowl 7 years later. And in fact, Billy then played one more year into 1970 before he retired.
Wow.
And so Billy Baird, that was my memory of him. And he accepted it for what it was and gave me all the detail about, well, here's why they were saying this about me. I was too small to play the corner. I wasn't fast enough to play this, but he played on smarts and he was a very intelligent player.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you, Hep. Thank you so much for Hep joining us here on the program. Phenomenal. Thank you. Let's keep the phone lines rolling. Excuse me. That's a pinned comment on youtube.com/boygreen25.
Yeah, a lot of guys waiting for us. So let's go.
100%. Yeah, we have 10 callers. So let's keep rolling here. Up next, Johnny Boy here on the program. What's up, Johnny?
Morning, Bob. Morning, BG.
Hey, good morning, Johnny. How's Luke Altwater looking these days?
Yeah, Luke Altmaier. Yeah,
dude, he's a baller, man. He's not being talked about enough. If anything, right, that guy could be a serviceable backup for years and years and years and
Who
years.
does he remind you of in the professional ranks? Anybody jump to mind?
No, I mean, dude, he reminds me of like a Matt Ryan from I could see that. Yeah. But again, the only reason a lot of people don't know him or talk about him is because where he played at, and he played up in Illinois. So
yeah,
there's a lot of guys that are coming out there, and that's a big shout out to ISU.
Illinois has developed a lot of good football players, although not at those necessarily skilled positions, but particularly linemen. They're very good at developing linemen.
Yeah, but big shout out to ISU. ISU is who put me on to him, and that's when I started watching film. And then he put me on to this other wide receiver, Sopkowicz. I always butcher his name, man. Daniel Sopkowicz. Check him out, Illinois State wide receiver. Dude has like an insane amount of receptions, touchdowns. He's a dog. But Bob, 2 questions. One from our guy Snowball. He asked, did you get an opportunity to meet Neil Leifer, the photographer who took that photo in the cover of your book?
No, I didn't. But what we did was, once we spotted a couple, I said I knew that he had been taking a lot of shots at the Super Bowl. And so we started to really zero in on the shots he had taken. And the publisher, who was counting every dime that he was spending, said, let's see which picture we can get for the least amount of money. And that was the one that I said I wanted more than any other. And they made a deal and got a good price on it.
Great.
And then
it's a great shot. Yeah.
And then the last one, I've been wanting to ask you, BG, and then Bob. And it's kind of off this whole like with the draft stuff. I can't wait for the combine. By the way, guys, I want the players.
Let's go.
Just knock it out, because the same thing Judy stated on yours, and I feel like everybody's stating it. Nobody knows where the New York Jets are going. It is so up in the air right now, it's a great place to be right now. So,
of course.
But Bob, BG, what's your guys' thoughts on this whole Rossini situation? Right, like I wanted to wait and ask Bob. But
I have not commented on this yet, and Bob is a former journalist. I'm curious, so you'll get a Boy Green Daily exclusive.
What's the situation you're talking about?
Oh, you haven't heard about it, Bob? Oh boy, wow. I don't know how to best encapsulate this to catch you up.
I can.
Well, okay, yeah, please, Johnny. Yeah, okay.
Oh, so her and Rabel went to this like
Diana Rossini. So let's just give that context. Diana Rossini is a
right.
reporter for The Athletic, and then Mike Vrabel, New England Patriots head coach. All right, Johnny boy, go.
They went to this private, like romantic resort that you could only get through the pools through a room and all this stuff like that. They got caught interlocking pictures of themselves, holding each other and at the pool and the whole nine. So then everybody's like, hey, is that how she's getting all the inside scoops? Is this what she's doing? This is what's going on? And I think it was Craig Carton. Dude, he was ripping Rossini a new one.
Yeah. I hadn't heard that.
Funniest thing. But again, I just wanted to ask your guys' thoughts on that. Like, what do you guys think of that? Do you think that's any truth to it, or is just her being a journalist trying to get some inside scoops the best way? So, appreciate you guys.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Can't wait to see you for the draft.
How inside a scoop does he think she wants?
Oof, that's a topic.
Can we get her to crawl up and down the sidelines when the Jets play the Patriots?
Yeah, I'm curious to hear your thoughts, Bob, but I have not commented on this anywhere in Twitter or interviews or podcasts or anything.
Which reporter reported this?
So apparently, this is more reports that are coming out, is that someone was, I don't know I want to start this off with, I don't know what the validity of what I'm about to say is. I'm just hearing it, so who knows if it's true.
So allegedly,
yes. Diana Rossini, this part isn't allegedly, but Diana Rossini has a husband and they have 2 children together.
Vrabel's married too, isn't he?
He is, yes, of course, he is married. And that the photos that were captured of Diana Rossini, people believe that her husband hired a private investigator to see what's going on, because Rossini and Vrabel have had something of a relationship for a while. It had always been perceived to just be this work thing, but some of these photos appear incriminating or at least open the door that something could be going on, that like Rossini's in a bikini hanging out next to an NFL coach. Like, that just seems to be interesting. They're interlacing fingers in front of this beautiful like Arizona mountain because it's the annual league meetings and photos are being taken. A lot of these photos don't appear. Diana and Vrabel appear to be saying that, they were with other people, but the other people weren't there. I'll tell you this, I've never jumped. I've never gone to any level to get a scoop that far.
Does she work for the NFL Network or something?
The Athletic.
The Athletic. Okay. Well, I mean, you'd think the Athletic would have something to say to her about.
They came out and defended it and said that there's nothing wrong here, and these are just random photos that seem to suggest something else is happening when it really isn't, and that more context is they were with a lot of people. The photos seem to suggest that no people were with them, that they were by themselves, but I don't know. A couple of years ago, I tried to get friendly with an agent, not to that level, but I tried to get friendly with an agent to try to get information for the show and to try to break a story. And I got very close to breaking a story. I don't know, man. I don't know this insider game. I've never done that job. Maybe that's a better question for these people that actually go through this entire process. But I don't know. It looks really bad. I guess that's what I can say. It looks really bad. And
it's not a good look.
No, I think that's the best way to put it. It comes off really unprofessional, especially, like being by the pool. If you're just hanging out with a coach, you're at the bar and you're trying to gather information like that, I can totally understand. But I don't know. Yeah, it's an interesting situation to say the least.
Well, that's our take, Johnny boy. It's
that is
So our coach is falling asleep at
the combine, right?
Yeah, and their coach is out having a whoopee.
Apparently. So there you go. All right, let's keep going down the phone lines. Kyle Clifton's up next. Kyle.
Morning, Kyle.
Good morning, Bob. Rossini in a bikini. Don't be a meanie. Come on. Yeah, I mean, I like pumpkin pie too. I don't know if I like 2 pumpkin pies with whip for breakfast every day.
Right.
Maybe
there's levels to this apparently, right?
Yeah, there definitely is. I've said this a million times. Every draft is different, right?
Yes, of course.
So this is kind of like the draft 3 years ago where it's not so deep and you may be going 15, 16 players deep. This is the one where we took Will McDonald over Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah.
And I think that the thinking at the time was you don't take a slot in the top half of the draft because you can get slots in rounds 3 through 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
But since then, and the fans kind of knew this at the time, and Jigba was a special talent. He was probably worth the squeeze in that draft.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's proven since that he's going outside the slot. So that was probably a slip up on our part, not taking in Jigba there. I think since he was offensive player, I feel pretty safe in saying that. But this is the same logic that you would apply to David Bailey too, right? Like if this guy is really having some problems with the run, and we've brought in all these other guys to stop the run this year, and we have.
Yeah.
Why aren't we drafting the most complete football player at number 2?
Yeah.
Because people are saying, well, there's a lot of projection with Brees. Well, no, I think there's a lot of projection with Bailey, right? Like, and, in the small windows where Reese has, been asked to rush the quarterback, he's done it fairly effectively. So
did you see the clip, Kyle? Did you see the clip from this week on Arvell Reese?
What, the bend?
No. Oh, yeah, not that. So apparently, he's doing an interview with ESPN's Benjamin Solak, and they're watching tape together. Benjamin Solak, analyst, Arvell Reese, the Ohio State defender, and they're watching tape. And Arvell Reese basically reveals to him, he says, I didn't get any time dedicated to me in practice to pass rush. So I was sort of just winging it out there, basically. All my moves and everything, I was just sort of figuring out on the fly. And people are watching that going, holy blank. If he had all these incredible pass rush analytics, I know the overall sack numbers weren't high, but if he was just sort of winging it out there, get him in the hands of, in theory for us, Carl Dunbar, and holy crap, does he go from this to a seismic jump of getting someone around him where obviously he'd be practicing edge rusher mostly full-time, I would imagine, at this level. That clip is going viral this week from Benjamin Solak that he apparently has been winging it this entire time as a pass rusher.
Yeah, I mean, like, part of the things I kind of pay attention to when I read voraciously about the draft,
of course,
is, what are the opposing teams in his conference saying about him.
Oh,
And
yeah.
almost universally, these guys are like, although Reese is a goddamn nightmare. So, like, I don't really know that there's much of a decision to make here. Like, you're talking about the top conference in the country where the other, one of the top conferences in the country, probably 1B, right? Where he's basically, putting on a show week after week. And then you talk about Bailey, and Bailey's, if he's even a situational pass rusher, he can be an effective player. I don't know if he's the pick at 2. That's my point. And I think that the proper thing to do, if we can, is to go back a little bit, and we might be able to get a guy that's going to be a long-term pro, like a Reese or a Styles, or even a Tate. But I don't know if that deal's going to be there. So this Bailey stuff has got me a little bit wound up a little bit. I'm hoping it's not the pick. He's not my favorite player, and I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm not looking at tape, and like it's just based on what I've read and the small windows I've seen these guys play on Saturdays. But that's kind of where I reside with it, and I think that's kind of a pretty good way to think about it. I appreciate your time, guys.
Before you go, Kyle, I'd like him to get a wide receiver too with the second pick, but I would be thrilled if they got Reese and they somehow moved up and got Styles and really built that linebacker core.
So here's the way I kind of think about it. When you're sitting with 4 picks in the top 44, this defense was not good last year. And I think that if there was an opportunity to snag 2 special defensive players in a defensive heavy draft, you could do that. And there are receivers that I think are going to go maybe in the 20s that you might be able to come up for at kind of a minimal price. Like I would be more than willing to part with a 3rd rounder next year and like to come up a couple of spots. Depending on who's hanging out there in like the mid to late 20s, and then maybe you could do something with like a big swap or something to kind of get you where you need to go. Some teams might be reticent to do that because of the 5th-year option or whatever, but there are options that are open to us. That's my main thing. We could stick and pick, and if we see value, just take it down. Trading up is an option, trading back is an option, dipping into round 3 and beyond for next year and the later rounds this year is definitely an option to make those types of movements. So that's
by the way, Kyle, I want to sprinkle this in. Thanks for sending in the super chat last night on the Jets Collective. That inspired a hilarious conversation on the show. So that was awesome with Kyle Clifton stories. So thank you.
Well, my favorite player growing up. I love them. I'll talk to you guys soon.
There he is, Kyle Clifton, joining us here on the program. All right, we'll keep firing through phone calls. Got a lot of people waiting. It's Professor Philly Doodles up next.
Hey, good morning, guys.
What's up, pal?
Okay, where's the whiteboard?
Yeah, where's the whiteboard?
It's here. I know. I'm loading up. Hold on.
Okay, all right. There we go.
Here's
All right, it's reading time
let me guess. Styles, no matter what.
To do. Still Styles at number 2? Question mark.
Yeah.
Professor Philly Doodles. All right. Alfredo Roberts, Carl Dunbar must make players better this season. So there you go. Carl with a K, I believe, for the future there, Philly. But that's all right. We'll work on that later.
Unlike our man with the tattoo, I guess, right?
That's right. Alfredo Roberts is the longtime former tight end, and he's been in a lot of different places. Former Super Bowl champion, too. I think he was on those Cowboys teams back in the 90s, so he won a couple of championships there. So salute to Alfredo and Carl. So yeah, again, I think the Jets made a couple of these positional coaches hires that are not getting enough love that we need to throw out there. Anywho, wicks may burn out before we could trade. Ooh, the wicks of like a candle wicks. Very nice. Okay. That may be true. And Xavier Hutchinson, that's a Houston Texans receiver, is it not?
Yep. Yes, sir.
The cheaper option. And then, of course, in all caps, underlined rather, in Muji, we trust.
Yeah. I'm still in the camp that, you could go Wicks, but they're going to have a high asking price. I have that feeling in my mind.
Dontavian Wicks, you're talking about, yeah?
Yeah. I'm not giving look what we just got for when we got Adonai Mitchell. I mean, don't get me wrong, we got rid of Sauce. That's a great player, but I'm not paying a 4th round pick for Dontavian Wicks. He's a victim of circumstance to LaFleur's system. Let's just start with that. You can plug and play a lot of receivers that end up being good there. Yeah. So, I mean, if I'm going to overspend, I'd rather get Jaden Reed, if that was a possibility. Mm-hmm. But I'll take Xavier Hutchinson. You could probably do a 5th rounder for him. The kid's pretty fluid. He's big. He's a good receiver. He can hang up there, and he's got good quickness. But if I'm going to take a receiver, I'm not overreaching in the 1st round. If Lemon's not there, if Tate's obviously not there, Cooper, maybe at 33 if you're not going to, Simpson it up or something, or a defensive player is going to leak into that 33rd spot, whether it's CJ Allen or something like that,
Someone's going to be there for sure.
Yeah. But with that 44th, Elijah Surratt, I just cannot say that the productivity in college and the way he runs routes, it would be stupid to avoid a receiver like that. Because if he ends up paired with Mendoza and the Raiders take a shot on him, which is smart. Because that Jock, whatever the guy, he stinks. I don't know what happened to that kid. But I think Surratt is just way overlooked right now. And I think that's just a bargain. If he's sitting there at 44, they should just run to the podium and just take the best receiver that's available there. I guess you don't have the quickness that you would expect, but what great receivers always have to have quickness? If you think about it, Keenan Allen, which he's been referred to, which is a every down receiver. You can throw the ball. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? A guy like that, you want that on your team, and that's valued because he could be making receptions beside, not every game are we going to get Wilson from Geno Smith catching a ball one-handed doing a Michael Jordan pose. Let's calm down, everybody. We don't want that every game. We need everybody to eat properly. Adonai Mitchell is the same thing. He's a spectacular catch guy. You need a Surratt. You need a guy like that, or
you're saying we need a guy who can really go get the ball when he's challenged, he's challenged by 1 or 2 guys. That's what struck me about him.
The kid could play, and I think it would be really dumb if he's sitting there at 44 not to take him, especially if you go defense. In the first 2 picks there, because at 16 there'll be defensive players galore. 33, someone's going to leak out. Out of Omar Cooper or Surratt, I'd rather just wait at 44 and take Surratt. That's it. Yeah, I think it's just a better option. And then if you can grab an Xavier Hutchinson, maybe the Broncos, right? Because Mooj came from over there. I'm not a big fan of saying let's get what's his name, Franklin, or the other one that they could shake loose there.
Marvin Mims and Troy Franklin. Yeah.
First off, the Mims, right? Lederer. The Mims name doesn't work well in a Jets uniform. Let's be honest.
It's a good point. History.
Junior or not, that's not. I don't think that's. But yeah, man, I'm interested in your guys' take. Other than that, that's all I really got. It's a good Friday. You know what I mean?
Well, get that whiteboard ready for next week. We know where it's going to start.
A week out from we'll be 6 days from the draft next Friday. Oh dear Lord, it's going to start getting in very quick. All right.
Yeah, thanks. And hopefully, real quick. Hopefully, I don't see Indy in the chat right now, but I've heard some pretty good news from him. Hopefully, I'll be meeting up with him, and we'll be celebrating.
Is he feeling better? Is he getting better?
Yeah,
we'll see. We'll see an update.
Yeah, sir.
That's okay.
That's great news.
All right, perfect. Thanks, Philly. Appreciate you. Professor Philly Doodles, baby, here on the friggin' program. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's go. All right, let's keep rolling down the phone lines here. Up next, Mr. Legendary Famous Fulton.
Morning, Paul.
Oh, top of the morning to you.
Morning, Famous.
All right, it's morning.
I'm doing spectacular, Mr. Legendary Famous Fulton. How are you doing, sir?
Not been feeling myself today.
Oh, no. What's wrong?
Dealing with allergies today.
Mm-hmm.
Just been dealing with allergies.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't have allergies, so the gods blessed me, I guess.
So what did you have? What did you have? What did you have for Johnny Boy, Famous?
Well, I'm not sure what I was supposed to say. Shoot.
Okay, no, that's all right.
Yep. So, so I am going to Palm next Friday.
Hey, all right.
Yeah.
Have you secured a date?
No, not yet. I haven't
Okay.
found one yet.
That's all right. Keep your options open. Keep your options open.
I will.
Okay, nice. But yeah, I hope you enjoy prom. Prom was super fun. I remember when I went back to prom back in the day. That was good times.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, I hope you get over. What is it? Pollen? Well, what's your allergy of choice?
It's like pollen and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, I hope you get whatever medicine is necessary, Mr. Legendary Famous Fulton, and enjoy prom. And don't be afraid to pull out the sprinkler, maybe. Sort of work some of that in, and then a little bit of that, or the light bulb, maybe. Get a little bit of light bulb action happening. Feel free. A little funky chicken didn't hurt anybody. You break it down a little bit.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Mr. Famous
Good
Fulton.
luck
Well, I
there.
hope you have a great day.
Too.
Any dance moves you would break up, Bob, for him?
No, I went to an all boys high school.
Oh, well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and my dance moves, no, you don't want to talk about. I don't want to talk about dance moves.
Okay, you don't want to talk about them. Let me ask if this
My
guy wants to talk
my
about
wife
him.
wouldn't
Bobby
either.
Jr., what's a dad dance moves like?
Yeah, I'm going to spare you guys. You don't want to know.
Okay, thank you for that. All right, Bobby Jr. joins us here on the show. What's up, Bobby Jr.?
I told Bobby Jr. you had something specially prepared.
Oh, yes, I do. I think I may have shown you this. If I haven't already, our raffle prize for this month is a beautiful Sauce Gardner jersey here for the Jets, and I'm hoping fans wear it every time they watch a Colts game this season as some sort of like anti-juju device of some sort. So, yeah, we're hoping for the best. Yeah.
Boy, the bar is pretty low. If this is what you're giving away, I didn't know you guys gave away trash.
Oh, trash! Right? That's not too good for your Colts if your boy Sauce is trash.
Not that Sauce is trash, but it's an old jersey. It's not even.
It is a very important jersey for Jet fans. You guys are going to help give us our franchise quarterback, which I'm so thankful for. It's an early gift.
I'm gonna set a calendar. I'm gonna set a calendar reminder for about 2 years from now, and I'm gonna quote you, and we'll see.
Okay, please
see how you're still feeling about that comment.
Yeah, please do. Yes.
But no, I got up this morning and took a trip to the bathroom, and I could only think of the Jets, and so I thought, why don't I check back in here with my favorite Daily Jets podcast.
Look at that. I used to have that lamp back in college. I'm glad that those still are out there in the universe. So that is that's wonderful. I'm glad that's still getting some run.
Yes. Well, it's not. It's courtesy of Bob.
A decorative piece.
Actually, it's courtesy of my other son who had that in college and.
It's a hand-me-down. Oh,
yeah, he bequeathed it to me, and that is my sometimes office light.
Oh, okay. So it's gotten a lot of run in the Lederer family, apparently.
Yes,
nice.
Yes,
all right.
Yes, it's gotten well worn.
Okay, but it's a nice decorative piece. Very vibrant. Very nice. Mm-hmm. It's great to see that. So
and you should see when we turn it on what it looks like. Wow.
You're overselling.
So wow, I'm like that. That's a hell more of a lamp than I thought. Then okay, great. All right, we'll have to explore that on the next episode, I suppose. How was Passover for you, Bobby Jr.?
It was wonderful. It's obviously wonderful. I'm one room over from my father, and I'm already.
Oh, right now you're talking about, or in general?
Right now. Now.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
He's not quite close enough to bang on the wall, but. But he is in the next room.
What's the occasion? How far away are you guys normally from each other?
Oh, I live in New York.
Oh, normally. Wow. So that's quite far then. Okay.
Yeah.
What's the
I'm
occasion?
in town for Passover.
Oh, okay. I'm going to be. What is Passover? I have no idea what Passover is. What is that?
Oh, okay. Here's the let's
version.
Fans. Here's the educational segment of this week.
Yeah, it's some Jewish shit. It's not that important.
Some Jewish stuff. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It commemorates God helping the Israelites get out of Egypt.
Oh, cool. Okay, so he's sort of their tour guide. All right, that makes sense. All
yeah,
right,
and even our 4.5-year-old granddaughter knows. Yeah. Oh, you know what happened on Passover? No, what happened Passover? God separated the sea, and the Israelis walked across the sea.
All right. So what do you have to? How long does Passover last?
A week.
8 days.
Oh, 8 days.
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you have to do for these 8 days?
No bread, among other
No
things.
bread.
No grain.
No bread. No
Okay.
donuts. No pancakes.
Anything you like, you probably can't eat it.
Okay. So why is that the thing? Why is bread and dough apparently the one that
Oh,
they
I knew
picked?
you were going to ask, so here we go.
Because when the Israelites had to escape from Egypt, they did not have enough time for their bread to rise, and therefore we commemorate this by having a shitty cracker for 8 days.
Well,
that
I appreciate
constipates you.
Okay, wow. Thank you for that level of vivid imagery.
I'm sure that every Jew in here probably knows what I'm talking about, and there are probably plenty of them if they're a Jets fan.
Oh yeah. How many? Here's just one. How many Jewish people are there in the world?
About a little under 20 million.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good number, I would think. Okay, nice. All right, we have got a lot of them here on the show.
Unfortunately, a lot of people think there's more of us than there really are.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
But
I said, unfortunately, a lot of people think there's more of us than there really are.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that aside,
Yes.
I'm just now tuning in.
Yes.
But BG, what is your preference to do with our pick this year?
That's funny way to put it. It's to me, it's the best case scenario, which is apparently being discussed in the Jets building right now. Is they take whoever the hell they're going to take it to, and with 16, you trade up, you package 16 and whatever is necessary to move into the top 10 and get a second whack at the pinata. Is that Sonny Styles? Is that the wide receiver of choice? Is that Jeremiah Love? Is that a million possibilities of whatever that could be? So you double dip and get, you in theory walk away from the first round with 2 superstar guys you feel awesome about. That's what I want
to do what the Texans did.
You want that was a more aggressive version, but it was really cool. I was like, my jaw was on the floor when they did that. Although shout out to Daniel Jeremiah, he predicted that the night before. That's why I think when Daniel Jeremiah says stuff, I'm like, that's unbelievable. That they picked 2 and 3 and traded back up to get, and they said, "F it, we're getting C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson."
And boy,
the Will Anderson parts worked out.
And boy, did that work out for them.
Right. Yeah. C.J. Stroud's been hit or miss. Obviously, the rookie year was spectacular, so we'll see wherever that goes. But Will Anderson's going to get. I just heard yesterday that he could ask for $50 million per year in his new deal. Like, wow, that's nuts. So obviously, that was cool. So yeah, in theory, it's that. I'm not sure if I'd go all the way up to whatever that would be, so 3 or 4 or something.
Yeah,
that'd be aggressive. But yeah, and to the point, maybe you wouldn't even have to do it. But oh my God, yeah. But that's in theory. It worked out great for the Texans. I'm sure it doesn't work out for everybody when you do something like that. But yeah, that's it. The higher you are, it doesn't always guarantee. There's been busts all over the place, especially for the Jets in their history. But
and we're not only looking forward to using your pick this year, but we're already looking forward to next year.
Oh yeah. I've been dreaming about that one for a while. So And here's the thing, because when the Jets initially made the trade, I was like, I was all over the Indiana Jones thing. I said, "Oh, they're 7-1. This is friggin' great. Like, we'll get whatever pick at the end of the first round." I just sort of, resided myself. That's what it was going to be. And I was cool to see the story. I'm like, all right, let's go Colts. It's cool. No one gave Daniel Jones a lick of anything, and look at him. Chris Ballard seemingly was on like the hottest of hot seats, and then 7-1 and all. And there were some rumors about Shane Steichen. I said, okay, here we go. And then the unfortunate passing of Irsay, and then it was going to all his daughters, and I was like, okay, this is going to be like a cool Jonathan Taylor. I loved Michael Pittman. I said, this is going to be Alec Pierce is really interesting. I said, oh, this is going to be a Zaire Franklin, who no longer is there. Ziggy. I said, oh wow, man, this is going to be something. And unfortunately, it folded like a used launcher. Unfortunately for you guys, but less for us.
Legendary collapse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, yes. So
every day we were saying, now what's our draft position now? It was 25. Now it's 20.
It just kept going. Boop, 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 and it went all the way to 16. Which again, I wouldn't have imagined my wildest dreams.
Are we sure the season's over and we can't get something better than 16 for that Colts pick?
Probably. I think it might be a little too late on that one. But it's funny because I remember talking to my friend, one of my friends who's a Jets fan who's called in here before. Mm-hmm. And we were talking, Colts were like 6-1 or 7-1 or something at the time. And he says to me, you know, it's insane. It's insane. You know, the turnaround. What for you would be considered success this season and what would be considered a failure? And I remember telling him, it's weird to go from being one of the like most average to below average teams to having playoffs be a certainty.
Right.
And I deeply, deeply regret saying that. Never could have imagined that disappointment.
Yeah, that's
how did Sauce play for the Colts, Bobby Jr.?
When he played, he was good. He was good. I mean, his first game was the I don't know if it was London or something, or the Berlin game or something. Against
yes,
the Falcons.
correct. Yep.
And he was good. He played very well. And then he got hurt, but he you know, when he played, he still ranked very, just over the course of the season last year, he still ranked as one of the best corners in the NFL. So I don't regret the trade from that perspective.
Did you count the number of tackles he made just to have a count?
How many tackles?
Yeah.
Why is that the barometer?
Because he doesn't make many.
I don't understand why that's Did you say that about like Darrelle Revis? How many tackles did Darrelle Revis make?
Oh, a lot. Are you kidding? No.
When Darrelle Revis played, people talked about how many receptions he permitted, all of his pass breakups. No one talked about how many fucking tackles Darrelle Revis got. Am I crazy, BG? Am I wrong here?
No, of course it was about the whole Revis Island thing was built on. Look at the star receivers he faced and the graphic of Revis Island. Look, he held them to 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards, 20 yards, 30 yards. No, we did not bring up tackles for Darrelle Revis. We did not.
Yeah. All right. My good to know my dad is still full of shit.
Well, Bobby Jr., you know, happy Passover. Apparently a room over there with your pop, and hopefully you guys have a good time.
Thank you.
There he is, Bobby
Thank
Jr.
you, Bobby
here
Jr.
on the show. Very nice. And again, hold on the bread for now. And then
that's right.
I imagine you know, once it's over, do you guys have like a bread palooza? Like, oh my God, we're having a bread in 8 days.
Last night it ended at 7 minutes after 8:00. Okay,
oh, that's
after 8
specific.
days.
Okay.
And I yelled out loud, I'm going to Dunkin' Donuts. Anybody want anything?
There you go.
And my wife ordered a bagel, and I got a bagel and Boston cream donut.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, we missed this super chat for Bobby Jr. coming in from Lou B. Beautiful.
Wow.
Now there it is. Beautiful up. He got that Lou B with the $2 super chat. Bobby Jr. Did you call 911 when we traded?
Yeah, Bobby Jr. he broke into my room and he left.
I saw that. That was very vivid. So thank you, Lou B, for the unique super chat here. 5 raffle tickets for the contest.
It only affected the visually impaired.
Yes, there you go. So appreciate that. Yeah, the audio only listeners have no idea what just happened, but he gave the 1 finger salute to Lou B, which is, I believe, perhaps a Jewish gesture of some kind to honor and respect. I believe.
Yes, half of the victory sign we call it.
Yeah, that's right. Beautiful. We have a super chat in here. Let's answer this. We have a special request to make here from JJ. All right.
Wow.
JJ says, yo, BG, could you give my daughter AJ a special JETS birthday shout out? She is 12 today. She enjoys watching, listening to the show with me. Jet fans from Iowa. Gift my raffle tickets to Indy. So, JJ, beautiful message. I did gift your raffle tickets to Indy. And also, we're honoring your raffle tickets for yourself and your daughter for your birthday. So, we will match that offer. First off, Bob, can you give them a special JETS chant?
JETS, Jets.
That gets me every time.
The best I can do sitting down.
That's okay. You did the best you could. So here it is.
But I must
go ahead, Bob.
And I am very touched by someone from Iowa who's right next door to us.
Yes.
Who's also a Jet fan. So, JJ, keep up the good work.
100%, and that is awesome to hear. And let's give you a little bit more here. And I've done this a few times, like at the Hall of Fame. I got to do this with Matt O'Leary and Jake Asman a few times where I have to go, J-E-T-S, Jets.
And
Let's
JJ,
go.
I apologize for Bobby Jr.'s, behavior.
Yeah, that was inappropriate for your age, AJ. But happy birthday, 12. Oh my goodness.
Happy birthday.
Growing like a weed, but that's awesome. I'm glad that you guys tuned into the show. It's great to hear like Johnny Boy and Riley, and there's a bunch of Jet fans that watch the show and then their kids get involved in the show. It's super cool. So hopefully we see you guys, JJ and AJ. I'm a PJ. That's what my family calls me. So I feel you on the J action. And hopefully we see you at a future tailgate. I'd love to meet you guys in person. So thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for sending these in again. So we gave these raffle tickets to Indy, and also we're going to let you keep these raffle tickets for yourself. Enjoy the contest. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So massive happy birthday. That's awesome. So thank you guys. You guys can keep sending in your super chats and comments, and we'll get to those throughout the rest of the program. We've got more phone calls, though. So let's keep riding.
Let's get to them. We're busy on Fridays.
Here we go. This is one of my favorites. The Don Tony Teflon, baby. Teflon TV. Graces us with
What's going on? What's going on, Bob, my fellow Queens, New Yorker? But I will say this, Bob. Going to Dunkin' Donuts as a Jewish Queens, New Yorker to get a bagel is blasphemy.
Oh, okay. Well, you're right. We got better bagels than other places, but these are kosher Jewish places. And they're not going to have bagels ready 1 minute after the holiday ends. They have plenty this morning, but nothing last night.
All right, but Dunkin' Donuts is blasphemy. We can't be doing
that.
Come on, man. You got to do better than that.
I got you.
We know better than that. And can we put Don's book in the link in the description so I could go out there and cop this book? You know what I mean? So I could go where to find it and all that good stuff.
Okay, we'll do. I'll put that in there. Yeah.
I would really.
If you just put Beyond Broadway Joe in Amazon.
No, I got it. I'll give you the link. I'll carry this to the goal line, baby. Let's go. Let's get some of these books purchased. So yes, I will have that link in there for you, Don.
That's what's up. And I would say a funny story, real quick, because Beyond Broadway Joe. Then I'll talk about what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
My father's best friend, Ronnie Jones, used to be Broadway Joe's limo driver. Really? And I don't remember. I was very young, but my brother says he remembers being in the living room and Ronnie Jones coming over to visit my dad and saying some crazy stuff about driving a limo for Joe. So I would try to talk to my brother and see if he remembers any of it. I don't remember. I was too young.
Hey, you'll get some of that in Joe's chapter in the book.
Oh,
oh my!
But yeah, but my father's best friend, Ronnie Jones, he used to limo drive for him and stuff. All right, so real quick, I would just like to say two quick things. When it comes to this quarterback in these draft positions, it doesn't really matter what any of us think, because if Woody Johnson loves Ty Simpson, we draft Ty Simpson. It's really that cut and dry. It's up to Woody. If Woody fell in love with this quarterback, we're getting him at the second pick.
I think so. Huh?
And everybody, and they'll come up and say that they love them. But if Woody is like, this is the guy I want, they have to get him. And we're going to get him at number 2. So it really just comes down to how Woody's feeling and if he really loves that dude. It doesn't matter about Aaron Glenn. It doesn't matter about Muji. It all just matters about Woody. If this guy went to dinner with Woody and he charged him and Woody's like, this is my guy, it's a done deal. He's getting drafted. And then we're winning. And that's the way it's going. So that's just the way it breaks down. So I don't really get too much into it because it really comes down to that whole situation. But I will say this. Let me get, because I heard someone on SNY say something about Aaron Glenn, and I don't like to be the big Aaron Glenn supporter, but I want to give a little context, saying that he's not the person that we see is not really him, and he's not a real person. So let me give an example real quick. There was a comedian back in the day. His name was Richard Pryor. Maybe a lot of people don't know who Richard Pryor.
Yeah,
sure.
Richard Pryor, of course. Yeah.
When Richard Pryor came out, when he first came out, he was a fan of Bill Cosby. And he built this whole act trying to be the next Bill Cosby. And he tried to sound like Bill Cosby. And he made jokes like Bill Cosby. And it didn't work. And then he came out with an album back in the 70s. It was called That and It's Crazy. And that's when Richard Pryor showed who he was and became himself and started to be Richard Pryor, as everyone knows. Richard Pryor is considered one of the greatest comedians of all time. It's not the greatest. I'm not saying Aaron Glenn is that. But I see the similarity that when Glenn got the job, he looked at Bill Parcells, his mentor, And he said, I'm going to be the next Bill Parcells. I'm not going to call any plays. I'm going to do it just the way Bill did it. I'm going to handle the media just the way Bill handled the media. I'm going to do it just like Bill. And I think it didn't work. And now he realizes that. There he is. All right. It's live on the Sunset Strip right there. And now he knows. And now that we see the person we see, this is really him. Now he's not trying to imitate Bill Parcells. Now he's trying to be Aaron Glenn. He realizes that I have to call the plays. I can't do it the Bill Parcells way because I'm not Bill Parcells. But I think a lot of people do that. Like BG, when you came out, you did a lot of radio before you got into YouTube.
Yes, sir.
Right? And you were very adept at radio. But when you got into the YouTube game, if you started your first year and you look back at it, I'm sure you would say, there's things I would do differently now because I've been on YouTube. Even though it's the same game, it's not the same game.
Definitely not.
So I think it's a situation like that when we deal with Glenn.
So all in all, are you thumbs up on Aaron Glenn or thumbs down on Aaron Glenn?
I'm right. We're going to see. He's a Jet. He's one of us. He bled for us. He played for us. So he gets a bigger pass than I would give most because of that. I look at him as one of us, as someone who made good. He bled for the Jets. He was drafted by the Jets, and I think he should get the benefit of the doubt. This if Don Mattingly was with the Yankees, and he became the manager. I'm gonna give him more leash than I give anyone because he's one of us. You know what I mean? So I look at Aaron Glenn as he's one of us, and because he's one of us, I got to give him a little extra rope and let him see what he can do as himself. Not in trying to imitate Bill Parcells or go after the media like Bill did and be chippy like that because that's the way Bill did it, so I got to do it that way. I think now he realizes I got to do it the Aaron Glenn way. I got to do it my own way. I got to be my own man on this whole situation.
I think it's a great observation, to be honest with you, Don. And by the way, the Bob Lederer direct link to his Amazon book is now in the comment section and in the YouTube description down below. So if you click down on the description, it'll say buy Bob Lederer's book here, and as a direct link via Amazon for you, Don, and anyone else in the audience that wants to purchase this book. Again, this is a book of our guest, Bob Lederer. Guest, yeah, he's not a guest anymore. He joins us every Friday. He knows how to grab a beer out of the fridge now when he comes over to my house. So, no guest, no more. So, Beyond Broadway, Joe, the Super Bowl team that changed football.
More importantly, you know how to grab a beer out of my refrigerator.
Okay, great. I appreciate the invite.
I'll even drop the cover charge.
Oh, nice.
And the New York Jets fandom, that's right. We talking about Flushing. I'm from Leicester, Jewel Avenue.
Oh, are you really? Wow.
Yeah, look, I'm from Leicester, Jewel Avenue.
My dad was an electrical contractor, so he would take me up over there to the building.
Oh, to the joint
where the union hall was all the time.
Oh, listen, the union has a lot of power. I grew up. We had tickets to Shea Stadium. They gave all the union members from electrical union there all tickets to the picnic area. So the whole picnic area was all this loaded with electricians all the time. I grew up going to that and everything. And I was there every game of my life growing up, the whole time going there because they gave all those tickets out. When the Mets won the World Series, they came to my school, PS200, which is an all electricians kids school, to sign autographs. They came right to us. And then people are wondering why I got the Yankee hat on. I love the Mets. But you got to understand, I'm a Jets fan.
Yeah.
I'm a St. John's University fan. All right, I'm a Mets fan.
Oh.
I needed to feel how it was like to win at least once in my life. I needed something, right? And I had to have something. And also what swayed me was the Reggie Jackson candy bar. I love that Reggie Jackson bar. And that's what swayed me over to Yankee. But I still love the Mets, and I would love the Mets to win it. I would cheer.
Well, being a Yankee fan, if you hadn't told me you were such a big Met fan, I'd call you a front runner. But I can't call you a front runner.
No. I love the Mets. I would cheer when the Mets played the Yankees in World Series. I cheered for the Mets because the Mets fans deserve it. All my fans deserve it. They deserve to get one. Yankees have won a lot.
I don't care what anybody says about you. You're a good man.
I try to be. Oh, listen, thank you, BG. And
have a great weekend.
I appreciate you too.
There he is, Don, Tony Teflon. Man, it's been a while since we've had him on the show, but I love his calls. Quality over quantity, baby. And again, the direct link to Bob's book is down in the YouTube description. Thank you, Don, for asking about that and others that have asked about it in the past. I will try to now make that a permanent destination every time we have Bob on the show. So you guys can always go down there and get it and also promote it here on the show so we can get them out there again. I love my copy. I got my copy back in 2018.
I dare to say I give you a money back guarantee. If you don't really love the book, I'll give you your money back. I also think there's something wrong with you, but I'll give you your money back.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be necessary because, again, I think no matter what age fan you are, if you were around for Super Bowl III, I think it's going to be nostalgic and really cool to hear some of those stories. If you're a new fan, the path that we are walking today was paved by Jet fan after Jet fan after Jet fan after Jet team after Jet team after Jet team. If you don't respect and honor and learn about history, then quite frankly, you're just not doing your job as a fan. The New York Titans are our history. The New York Jets and winning that Super Bowl is our history. The good, the bad, and the ugly, all of that is part of our history. So again, it is an absolute must read.
Joe Beningo and I have seen everything, and it's not always pretty, but we've seen it.
Someone else who has seen everything is none other than Neil Sr. He's one of the OGs that are on the Mount Rushmore and Hall of Fame of New York Jet fans that have been there since the very beginning. So Neil Sr., we welcome you in.
How you doing, guys?
We're good, Neil. How are you?
All right, good. Bob, let me ask you, your son's a Colts fan?
Yep.
Is that what I was hearing?
He's a Colts fan.
And why do you let him in your house if he's a Colts fan?
Well, he moved out. He's married. He lives in New York, so I really can't do anything. But if I walk over to his old room, he has pictures of the Colts and Manning and everybody else. That's who he grew up with. I can't blame him. Look who his choices were.
Yeah, but I hasten back to that Colt game when when they didn't play Peyton Manning and we won that game. I was at ESPN Sports Bar in Epcot. And boy, we had a wonderful game that game.
I was actually, I think they played the first half for Manning. I was at that game with Bobby Jr. and my other son, Charlie.
All right, there you go. You got some glory out of that one.
Exactly. But it felt kind of empty because when they benched Manning, and Manning, you could see in the sidelines, was not happy. And that was their first loss of the season, I think, too.
Yeah.
And the coach didn't care. He didn't want to, ruin his playoff chances. So
I was lucky for us. Hey, BG, you owe me. I gave you guys. I gave you a $10 super chat yesterday. You never read it. It was at the end of the show.
Okay, so let's hit it.
I want to dedicate my $10 super chat to Bobby Jr. because I want him to win that Sauce jersey so he can wear it with pride.
Let's hit it.
Wow.
That would be great. Oh my God.
To remind him of what a crappy player Sauce Gardner is, and I can't believe that probably goes down. I put Muji up about 10 steps when he took that trade. I was the happiest guy on the planet. I was happy to get rid of Quinnen. And I just want to make a point,
Okay.
I can't believe that everybody's draft talk is centered around us picking defensive players. And, I'm kind of tired of watching us, watching a half of a game and seeing us score 3 points and we get 2 field goals. We get, 17 points a game. We watch Bob Saleh have the top 3 defense and we win 7 games. And I'm kind of tired of that. I'd like to, last time we were top 10 offense was 2015 with Fitzpatrick, and we won 10 games that year. And the year before that, we were top 10 was 2008. So I think it's about time that we focus on the draft on offense. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that would be long overdue. If they invest in offense, I don't know how any Jet fan can be upset about that reality. So please, 100%.
Really?
Let's go all.
I mean, come on. And another thing, how about we get a quarterback? We pick a quarterback in the draft because I'm tired of having mediocre to crappy quarterbacks as well. I mean, probably, and you could probably equate the fact that we haven't had a top 10 offense to the fact that we haven't had a top 10 quarterback in probably as long as we haven't had a top 10 offense. Does that equate? What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds right. And
Right?
by the way, Neil, we apologize for missing your super chats. What we're going to do is double your super chat and give all of those raffle tickets to Bobby Jr. because that is a beautiful gesture that should not be overlooked.
that would be priceless.
So
Yes,
Bobby
I
Jr.
want him to, I want when he hangs it in his room.
Yeah.
When you get it, I'm going to send it to you, Bob, and I want you to hang it in his room. This way, when he comes home for Passover next year, you could have him look at that, put a frame on it, and this way, constant reminder of what a great trade that was for the Jets. You know, when he
the picture that BG has a front side and a back side. So maybe we can make sure. Maybe we should give him 2 uniforms where he has the front side and the back side, so he can see it in everywhere he looks.
Yes,
Yeah,
I like
to
that.
get that.
Like
to have Gardner on both sides. Yeah, so Bobby Jr.
But
now
by
has
the way,
7
Neil,
raffle tickets to our contest.
Neil, I was hoping you would call in, I guess 2 weeks ago, whatever. I wanted to tell you that I was really sorry that you lost in the Asmaniac. You know,
you know, look, that's not that. You know, I don't look to put a trophy on my wall. You know, with that Maniac Madness is not my. That's not going to be my crowning achievement when I have my tombstone. You know, it'll probably be hopefully on my tombstone it says, "Thank God I got to see another Super Bowl." That's what I want to have on my tombstone.
Did you see Super Bowl 3?
What's that?
Did you see Super Bowl 3?
I was at the Raider championship game with my dad. I was 8 years old. I was the youngest guy in the stadium.
Wow.
And I told the story a couple of times. You know, I was supposed to go to the Super Bowl with my dad. He was so excited about Joe Namath.
Yeah.
And then my parents ended up going to Hawaii, and they got a free trip to Hawaii Super Bowl weekend. So I didn't get a chance to see it. But my dad did say he would take me to the next Super Bowl for sure. And my dad passed away long ago. So we didn't get a chance to enjoy another Super Bowl together.
Well, I would love to be there to join you in celebrating.
Well, I will be at the Canyon of Heroes, and you are welcome on my float, Bob. You know, for sure, because you've withstood a lot of pain, like I.
You just have to agree to blow the smoke in the opposite direction. I'm an asthmatic.
I'm sorry, Bob?
I said you'll have to agree to blow the smoke in the opposite direction. I have asthma.
Yeah, well,
this is a victory cigar, Bob.
Bob, believe it or not, I'm asthmatic as well. So
wow. I don't know why.
You know,
that's weird. Yeah.
But the good news is, you know, I only smoke cigars because it does not affect my asthma because I don't inhale the smoke. When you smoke a cigar, if you know what you're doing, most of the smoke rolls around your inner mouth and it just blow it out. So it doesn't really affect my asthma.
All right, we got.
But anyhow,
yeah.
Let me just say, with my dream scenario, this would be very exciting to me in the draft. I just want to tell you what I would like to see happen. Yeah. I would like to hope that Muji has a trade in his pocket to move Breece Hall for a wide receiver on another team. Okay. Maybe a Cortland Sutton in Denver. Maybe Brian Thomas Jr. in Jacksonville. You know, somebody that we could get as a number 2 that I know with at least some degree of certainty is going to be a productive wide receiver. I'm not always so sure that we're going to get a productive receiver in the draft. You know, we haven't had a good history of that, aside from Garrett Wilson. And when I hear some of the draft gurus say, we really got to take a look at this receiver. He looks really good, but he does drop passes. When I hear that, I think that's the guy the Jets are going to take all the time, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's the one that sort of gets me a little bit on that one. I'm like,
But you just picked 2 very good teams and opportunities because they both would like Breece and they both have something of quality that we could get back in return.
There you go. So let's just put that scenario out there because we know Muji is a big trade guy. And I'm sure he has a couple of trade opportunities in his pocket. And the reason why, as far as Breece, you know, I love Breece, okay? Don't get me wrong. He was spectacular as a rookie. He had breakaway speed. He was really, really good. The one problem I have with him is the fact that, he's been mentioned, and Lou B would know this better than anybody. He's had some really controversial tweets that he's put out there. He's friends with Sauce Gardner, and he's kind of pouty. Whenever they interview him after a game, he doesn't really smile. He's kind of pouty. I don't think he's going to be very happy to. He wants his bag of money. Let's put it that way. And I don't think he's as dedicated, or has been the last couple of seasons,
Yeah.
as being the way he was as a rookie. And I think he did lose a step or two after his injury. And when I look at tape of Jeremiah Love, I just feel very strongly that this is going to be a guy that, without a doubt, is going to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think he's going to be a major contributor to any team he comes into. And one of the most exciting parts of him is the fact that not only is he an exceptional running back with exceptional breakaway speed, but he's also, you line him up on a slot, and if you put a number 80 on his jersey, he'd probably be the second or best receiver in the draft as well. So this is a guy that is generational, in my opinion. And every draft guy out there says he's the first or second best player in the draft. Okay. Now, Caleb Downs is another guy that could be a major producer on a team that drafts him, but we don't really need safety's not our number one, need as far as that goes. I think we need offense. I think Jeremiah Love would be an amazing addition, only if we got to trade for Brees.
Of course.
And then to add to that, I want to have a quarterback in this draft. I mean, Mel Kiper, who everybody talked about earlier in the show, has Jets taking Simpson at 16. I saw a couple of his mock drafts. Is that right, Paul?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, are everybody in these chats that I listen to, poo-poos getting Simpson? Everybody would like to get him later. Certainly, I'd like to get him in the beginning of the second round. But I have an open bet with anybody in any of these chats or any show that Simpson will be a first round pick, not a second round pick.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't believe any team. I don't believe there's, as much as people need running backs, all teams want to take the first. If you have an opportunity to take the second best quarterback in the draft at 16, any other year, you'd say, that's a pretty good steal that you got a guy at 16. That's the second best quarterback in the draft. Wouldn't you say that would be a good thing? If the Texans what did the Texans get C.J. Stroud?
Number two overall.
Oh, he was the second quarterback in the draft. I mean,
second pick and second quarterback. He was both.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I say that, and we know what C.J. Stroud is, I don't think he's a great quarterback by any stretch of the imagination. I think he took a big step back in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But that being said, they went to 2 to take the second best quarterback in the draft. And he's obviously better at this point. I don't know if that's going to be in the future, but he's certainly better than the first quarterback that was picked that year, right?
Bryce Young. Yeah, right. Bryce Young still has a lot to prove for sure. But appreciate.
I think he's going to the Rams if the Jets don't take him that high.
Yeah, that's possible. I could see that. They're in a win now mode, so that'll be an interesting dance to sort of.
And they also want to build. They got to get another quarterback. So
that too. Well, I'll just tell you. So Neil, apologies. I never like missing super chats. If anyone wherever in a live show and you sent, I see we have a super chat, so I'm about to get to it. If you ever think that I missed a super chat or I did, please scream it from the rooftops and I'll get to it. And if I miss it, I never want to miss it, but if I do miss it, I'll definitely make it up to you, I promise. So, Neil, we've honored your raffle tickets. We've given them to Bobby Jr. as well. What a beautiful message, and for family, for Bobby.
What a dedication. What a
100%. Let's get another super chat in here. This is How About Them Jets?
Wow.
Thank you for the $5 super chat. Do we have enough capital to move up to 1 to draft Archer Manning next season, or at most a Dante Moore? If so,
that's the idea of having 3 first-round draft picks.
Yeah, and this is quite frankly, Rich Samani of ESPN talked about this on the Jets Collective podcast last night, that Muji has an eye towards 2027 in terms of if there's some movement of trades that when they're talking with other teams, they may say, hey, you got something in 2027? And maybe that's part of the movement around the board. So yes, in a perfect scenario, the Jets are organically in a position, whether it's themselves, the Colts, sorry, Bobby Jr., or the Cowboys or Packers are in a top 5 pick position. The Jets can do whatever they want. If the Colts, Packers, or Cowboys stink, any of them stink, the Jets get their first round pick. And that means the Jets could have their path to a quarterback. But the Jets have 3 first round picks and a second round pick right now next year. We'll see what else can potentially get added. They do have the ammo to potentially move up. Now, here's the thing you also need to sort of think about during this entire process here is if a team like the Raiders has the number 1 pick next year, it doesn't matter if Bob offers Bobby Jr. as sacrifice for that pick. They're not giving it up. So it has to be the right team that's up there at top, like Tennessee this year, if they would have had the number pick, or Giants. They have Jackson Dart. They wouldn't have taken a quarterback. They'd be willing to trade it. So that's what you have to hope for. But yes, the Jets definitely do have the ammunition to move up. And there's a lot of quarterbacks. So maybe if they're picking 5, they could still have a quarterback fall into their lap. So you just got to hope that it all works out. But great question. How about them Jets? Thank you very much.
All right, let's zip on through.
Okay, up next is Gio here on the show. Gio?
Hi, Gio.
How you doing, Gio? What's going on?
No, wait.
What?
Let me tell us what's tomatoes.
I'm sorry, I missed that, Gio. Can you say that one more time?
It goes so strong now. Where, how? Also, we get stuck over the main tomatoes get stuck.
Yes.
I gotta get him in a conversation with my 2-year-old. I think it'll be very interesting.
You so when my car is like this. Wait, go car. Wait, guys.
Oh, peace. See ya. Oh, wow. All right. That was Gio. Wow. What a call.
There was a deep message there. We just kind of missed it.
Yeah. It was coded in some word. Someone said talking carpet said he was talking in Spanish. I don't know if that was it, but I guess it could have been. That was possible. Salute to Gio. Anywho,
I only speak French.
Yeah. I took Spanish in college, or high school rather, but we'll see. All right, let's go to a new caller here. All right, I don't want to butcher your name, but Mr. Alvarez, a New York, LA guy.
Yeah, my first name is Hasiel. I know it's kind of hard to say.
Okay, Hasiel. Okay, I would have totally butchered that, so I'm glad that I didn't attempt to say that, but now I've got it, Hasiel.
Yeah,
well, thank you for joining us, man.
Yeah, no problem. First time calling here. I know it's been a couple 2 months of crazy trades happening with us in New York, but I'm right now feeling like I don't even know which way to go. Because ever since we've traded for Geno Smith, I felt like we've I feel like I'm not really a fan of him since how terrible he was with the Raiders. I was like, nah, it's gonna be my misery. And I know most of my family, they're like, it's all Philly. Most of my family is all Eagles fans.
Oh, disgusting.
Yeah, since I'm living here in Delaware, which is Philly and a little Pittsburgh.
Delaware. But interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I know it's interesting born in Delaware, live in Delaware, and a Jets fan.
Okay, but, respect. All right.
Yeah.
Hasiel, what is the English derivative for Hasiel?
Yeah, what does that mean? Does it mean something?
What is a typical English name that would be similar to in English?
Oh yeah, I don't think I can hear
Xavier or something like that.
Yeah, he says he can't hear you, Bob. So, but I'll translate. Hasiel, does your first name mean something? Does it have like a special meaning or something?
I don't know. My mom named me that name because she's heard somebody say it. Call their kid Hasiel, but instead of calling my name with a J or a G probably or an H, she decided to give it to an X.
That's cool. I mean, that's very unique. How long have you been listening to the show, Hasiel?
Actually, my first time ever listening to the show. Actually.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, credit to you, because there's a lot of people that just, that don't call in. They just sort of, watch a show from the background or something. So, wow. Okay. Well, welcome to the program, man. It's great to have you.
No problem. Hope to call in during the summer as well.
Let's go.
Good.
Well, great to meet you, Hasiel, man.
Yep. Have a good day, y'all. And
there you go. Beautiful. JETS, Jets. I will tell you, thank God I didn't attempt to, as a poor man's broadcaster, I pride myself on pronouncing people's names right. When I have someone on for an interview that I've never had before, I'm researching it, I'm reviewing it, I'm like hearing it. I'm hearing it from multiple interviews to make sure it's not just one person. So Hasiel, I would have never guessed, but super cool. Wow. Hasiel just found the show today and it just called in immediately. That's super cool. So thank you. And hopefully you guys join the subscribe train. So Hasiel, welcome to the club. This is a Jet Show every single day at 7:30 in the morning, and the phone lines are always open. So Hasiel, appreciate it. Thank you for calling into the program. And yes, there's been so much stuff. I'll be honest, I'm with Hasiel a little bit here that sometimes I'm like, what do I even want them to do? We've talked about wide receivers, pass rushers, quarterbacks, this, that, or the other. I'm like, I don't even know more, but I'll be at the draft in 2 weeks, and hopefully we'll all figure it out of whatever it's going to be, of whatever they do.
In Muji, we trust, as Philly Noodles would say.
Let's hope they get it right. All right, let's keep firing through the phone calls. Up next, one of your favorites. It's Bill, baby.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, good morning.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know if I can follow up the act by the 2-year-old. That was pretty good.
Oh, yeah, Gio. Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah, he expressed himself better at his age than I can at mine.
Massive respect to Gio, yeah.
Yeah. I find it funny because you were talking about Rossini and Rabel and stuff, and I'm like, let's see if people know about it. Someone explain to me the secret part. It's a secret meeting. Well, how does everybody know about it if it's a secret? I don't get that.
Yeah, so the annual league meetings are out in Arizona. Apparently, this special resort they were at, which is, if you go to the resort website, it says it's for couples. So that was sort of weird, and it's a romantic couples retreat or something. It's about 2 or 3 hours away from where the league meetings were, so a different part of Arizona, from what I understand. And apparently, whoever this photographer was, because he got a lot of shots of this, they think that potentially this photographer was either a PI or one of those crazy paparazzi people that like get it and then sell the photos to TMZ or wherever the places are. So yeah, it seemed clandestine in some ways, but I don't really know. The photos, again, whatever the truth is, I think here's the best way to put it is, and Bob, you'll get a chance because this is your first time hearing about it, so you'll get to go see the photos. If I showed those photos to my fiance and I said, hey, if this was me and another woman, would you have any beef with this? And to hear that response would tell me everything I need to know about the perception of this situation. So I don't know what's real, what's not. I have never had Diana Rossini on the show. We followed each other for a little bit on social media. I don't know if we still do, but I read her stuff and watch her on the shows and all this other kinds of jazz. I don't know anything personally about her. I just think that it comes off perception-wise not looking great. And people can take that for what they will beyond.
Particularly professionally.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, I brought up the secret thing only because I recall that a couple of days ago you were talking about how certain beat reporters were saying, well, the Jets have had secret meetings with such and such a person and so on. So then in the comments I put down, but if they know about it, explain the secret part to me. I don't understand that.
That did make me laugh, so I appreciate
it. A secret meeting
that.
is supposed to be that nobody knows about it.
That's a good point. And that is,
I just think people are reaching because the Jets have really, really been tight-lipped about what they're talking about as far as their draft strategy. I mean, they may be looking at all these players, but in the end, who are they actually going to choose is what is the secret, and therefore, a lot of people may end up being surprised when the draft finally comes in. So I just find it funny when people are reaching, doing everything they can to try and figure out, well, what is this team going to do? What is this general manager have in store for the team, trade wise, free agent wise, etc. I just find it ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I know they paid for that, but it just seems strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then another thing, I'm watching the Met games. I'm like, wait a minute. The team from the West Coast has no problem with the cold weather, but our team does. Explain that one to me. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Except, all right,
how cold is it up at the Syracuse Mets games at BG?
We're actually there. I have a game scheduled for today, but I've been texted by my overlords that they're keeping an eye out for weather. So we'll keep it. It's been very nippy. Well, here's the crazy thing. Like just in the last, I'll call it 2 weeks, we had a 65 to 70 degree day where I wore shorts outside. I said, "Oh, this is nice."
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
we had a foot of snow, both within that same span of
Really?
a week and a
Wow.
half. So like, and then so right, so we had it went in this order. The 70-degree day, I went to one of my baseball games in shorts. I'm like, woo, this is great. A week later, snow. I'm like, oh Jesus. The next day after the snow was all gone, and it was back to 55 or something. I was like, whoa, that was weird. And then back to very cold. So it's been very herky jerky. We're in some questionable time over here.
Yeah, yeah. I remember when Rusty Staub used to play sleeveless, even in 40-degree weather, didn't bother him. And I'm like, does this mean today's players are soft? I don't know. What's going on? What is this thing? Because I used to play softball in cold weather, didn't bother me. So I really don't get that with today's players. What the deal is.
Well, I have never understood why they're scheduling games in Minneapolis in April.
Yeah.
Well, really, any of the baseball action that early really just doesn't seem to, especially in minor league baseball. We started our games in March. Like, that's nuts.
Yeah. I have often also wondered whether you're doing any real damage to a pitcher's arm in particular, having to throw.
Right.
I was talking to a high school baseball coach yesterday, and he was telling me that his teams have played in games where it was so cold that none of the pitchers could really grip the ball at all. And so they were walking everybody because they just couldn't control, the ball and where it was going. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I have seen that with certain pitchers, and then there are others that don't seem to have an issue when it comes to throwing in cold weather.
Yeah.
So I guess it's unique to each person, obviously.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Then the one other question I have for you guys is this. I'm a Mets fan, but I'm also a New York fan in terms of if the Mets don't make the World Series, but the Yankees do, it's a win-win for New York. That's how I feel. I don't understand this thing that I'm a Mets fan and I have to hate the Yankees. I just don't get that.
Yeah.
I just don't get that. I think that's totally ridiculous.
My late father-in-law was a Cub fan, but he rooted for the White Sox too.
Yeah, I don't understand that. You love the Jets, but you have to hate the Giants, etc. I look at Rich Eisen, who is a Jets fan, but oh my God, does he hate the Mets? And I'm like, I don't understand that.
Yeah, like I hate the Yankees. I think they're god awful, but hey, different strokes for different folks.
High five me, BG.
Yeah, there you go. Pow, right.
Met fans and Red Sox fans, we share that great
100%. Screw the Yankees, those bastards. It's World Series or bust every year. Then it's been a lot of busts since 2009, huh?
Yeah, but the way I look at it is, like it or not, the Yankees have the bragging rights. They definitely have dominated the New York baseball scene now for quite a while.
Yeah, dating back to the sundial, I believe.
Yeah, but I don't use that as a hate thing. I think it's just still a win-win for New York. Always
hey, BG, before Bill goes, I think I just thought about this. This is no great genius idea, but I think the week before the draft, that you ought to have a contest to see who most accurately can pick. Who most accurately can pick the first two guys we pick.
That sounds fun. I'll have to try to think of.
The tiebreaker would be the third pick.
Yeah, I have to think of Discord, Twitter. What's the place? Maybe YouTube post. I don't know. I got to think of the place where I can receive as many entries as possible, and then I could go back and review them. So I'll work on that and see if we could come up. That'd be a fun contest. Maybe we could do a prize or something. So we'll work on that. But Bill, thank you so much for the call. I've got another interview at 10 o'clock, so we'll try to fire through the last couple of calls here. I want to make sure we don't miss anybody. We do have a couple hundred people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe. Appreciate all the support so far. Again, we're only a couple subscribers away from 8,540, which is terrific. So appreciate even people finding the show today. Great. That is awesome. All right. C is up next. C.
Hey, how you doing, Bob?
Hey, good morning.
How you doing? How you doing, Boy Green? Hey, listen.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about the Jets. I'm not going to talk about. I can't stand this anymore. I can't stand all the draft shit. Everybody's opinion. Who we're going to draft. Who we're not going to draft. Who we're going to trade. Who we're not going to trade. But I was in the store the other day, and I was online at the checkout. And I saw an Enquirer newspaper, and on the cover had a picture of Mike Vrabel in a bikini.
Oh, wow.
So,
did that rev any engines for you?
Not really. He didn't. No, he just don't have the body for it.
Yeah, that's all right.
He just don't have the body for it.
Honesty.
But anyway, another thing, we were talking about Jews today, right?
Yeah.
Now, I have some favorite Jews.
Oh.
That are my favorites, and my favorite Jew of all time is Larry David.
Okay, yeah. Let me get the. I think I have this for you. Okay, so wait. Let me see if I can get this real quick.
You have a list of favorite Jews?
Okay, all right. So
number one.
Who's number one?
Number one.
Larry David.
Okay. Okay, Larry David. That's a great
Larry
one.
David. My second.
Okay,
Jerry Seinfeld.
Number two.
Hold on a second. Don't
Number
say
two.
until he gets to number two.
Jerry Seinfeld. Okay.
Number two.
Okay. Do you have a number three?
Number three.
Now,
Number
before
three.
you say the name, let him get number three
Yeah,
up.
here we go. I'll get all the sounds. for
Number
you.
three.
Don Rickles.
Ooh. Okay. All right. Let me give you
Number four. Number four.
Okay.
Sammy Davis Jr.
Wow. All right. Let's round out the top five.
Number five. Number five.
Number five. I have none for number five.
Oh,
I
wow.
only
You
like
didn't even
four
get
Jews.
Sandler in there, isn't it?
Bob Lederer. Bob Lederer is number
Right.
five.
There you go. I'm going to be candid. I didn't have a top 5 Jew list here on Boy Green Daily on my bingo card, but that's what makes the show special.
BG, do you remember the famous All in the Family episode where Sammy Davis Jr. came to visit?
Yes, that was great.
And Archie turns to him and says, "Listen, I understand you're black. You couldn't do anything about that, but why'd you turn Jew?"
Yeah.
Remember when Sammy Davis kissed him?
Yes.
I grew up with a lot of Jewish people, and I've shared many meals with Jewish people.
Sure.
And if you ever notice in movies, they have a lot of Jewish people playing Italian people. Did you ever notice that, Bob?
No. Oh, wow.
No, I didn't.
It's a big thing.
We do share noses. Yes.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to make one call and not talk about the Jets or talk about the draft. I'm not going to listen to anything. I'll listen to the show, but I'm just going to let it go over my head.
Okay.
I'm not going to make any predictions for 2 more weeks.
Okay, 13 days away. And then
I'm sure out of the 1 million people that made predictions, somebody's going to be right.
That's a good
We
thought.
applaud you for standing out amongst all the.
Thank you, C.
All the
Appreciate that.
Thank you. And I did just get a new game.
Oh, let's see.
It's called the Jets Match Game.
Oh, beautiful. All right.
And I don't know how to play it yet, but I have to find somebody to play it with, and I don't know any other Jet fans in Virginia.
All right. Well, we'll work on that. I'll visit you. I'd love to play Jets match game. Let's go.
Oh, thank you. And have a good weekend, boys.
There you go. C joining us here on the show.
I hope you can find Gene Rayburn to moderate.
A top 5 Jew list.
I was waiting for him to say some of my best friends are Jewish, but
yeah,
that's for the next show.
Hey, Bob, how do you pronounce the name of our newest caller today? How did you pronounce his name?
Oh, I forgot.
I butchered it.
That is I don't know. It sounded like a prescription drug. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, either way,
I apologize for insulting him if that's insulting.
No,
that's why I asked him what is something close to that in an English name.
That I'm not sure, but just think about this, right? So he tuned into this show for the first time in his life, and on the first Boy Green Daily of his life, he got a top 5 Jew list. Well, stay tuned for more, buddy.
And you learned about Passover.
That's true, right? So yeah, Adam Sandler would have been in my top 5, but
yeah, I think I'd put. Well, yeah,
he's a Jets guy.
Okay.
Although he had a questionable Patriot thing at the Super Bowl, but apparently there was just some selective shots there. Anywho, let's squeeze in one last call here.
Here we go.
James.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, James.
Good morning.
How are you guys? How are you? Yeah, so I've seen that kid that called in. He's called into Jets media before.
Oh, he has? Okay, I've never seen him before.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
I'm not trying to be mean. He's a little light in the brains department, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. Sorry. Listen, I speak the truth. I'm sorry. That's the way it is.
He knows how to dial in. That's for sure.
Yeah. He can press some numbers. Bill, the guy before him, Bill. What are you talking about? You don't understand how a Met fan can't hate a Yankee fan or a Jet fan can't hate a Giant fan. I don't want to see the Giants do well. I'm tired of being the little brother.
100%.
I don't want to see that. I'm over that bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? I don't understand why we can't root for both? Because you can't root for two different teams. You can only root for one team in my mind. You have to pick one, and that's your team, and that's what you stay with. And that's just how I think it should be. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me to say I don't understand why you can't be a fan of two teams in the same city.
Right.
So that's like picking and choosing what not what meal you want, but it can't just be an all-you-can-eat buffet. You got to pick something, and you got to stick with that pick. So that's neither here nor there. But this Jeremiah Love situation, guys. Man, I'm driving myself fucking crazy looking at all these players, all these pundits, everything. I just can't wait for this draft to get here. I really can't. Like I can't take it anymore. This 13 days cannot come fast enough. But I think we're gonna stick and pick.
Ooh, okay.
I do. I think we're gonna stick and pick. A lot of people think Mungi's gonna make some moves.
Yeah.
I think this year we're gonna stick and pick. I think 2 is gonna be Arvell Reese.
Okay.
I think 16. Lord willing, I've already made up my mind.
Yes.
Makai Lemon.
Let's go.
Please let him be there at 16. If he's there at 16, then we can talk about potentially mortgaging some other picks and moving back up into the first round if you have real conviction on a player. But what's his name? Pregnon, the guard.
Yeah.
Oregon.
So, yeah.
Right. So if we can walk away with Reese, Lemon, or one of these other, as far as Lemon, Tate, what's
Tyson,
your ranking?
yeah.
What's your ranking, BG, on the wide receiver?
I'd go Tate, Lemon, Tyson.
Tate, Lemon, Tyson. Unfortunately, I cannot go after him. I can't do it because it's just too risky, and we are a snake bitten franchise.
I agree.
And what it's like Murphy's Law. What can go wrong will go wrong with us at times. So I think it's just best if we stick and pick. But if we can come away with Makai Lemon or even but Boston I think is too high. But I was a huge fan of his father. I love David Boston. I don't know why. Don't know why. I when I was a kid, there was just something about him. He was big, he was strong, he was physical. So I could definitely do some Denzel Boston action, but I think we stick and pick Arvell Reese, Makai Lemon, and then Pregnon at 33. And I think we're good to go, gentlemen. Thanks for the call. We'll talk soon.
Okay.
There he is,
Great.
James. Drop the mic.
I
the
disagree. I think they're going to trade up for the second pick.
I just think Muji is just a trader by nature. I mean, maybe they will stick and pick, but that would surprise me if they, if you said this, if they stay at their spot, you would have to assume that's a betting favorite for any team in the league, that they do nothing. That's assume that you just stay exactly where you are. But still, even with that probably being the case for any pick, I just have a feeling that there's something cooking. There's something crazy going to happen. Is it trade back from 2? Is it move up from 16? Is it some weird Breece Hall deal in the middle of the draft? I don't know. But I want to thank everybody for joining us here on the show. I got another interview in 45 seconds. So I'm a very busy man, but I love doing the show, and I love doing it with you, Bob. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you. And it's always great to have so many callers.
Awesome.
It's very, very rewarding to be on the show, and it's very rewarding when you have so many people who are interested in what we have to say.
I will just say this. I don't think it's a coincidence. We have our most callers on Fridays. That coincides when Bob's here on the show. Bob inspires callers, and that is terrific. We love having Bob on the show. Again, one last plug, and it's this, baby. Beyond Broadway Joe, the Super Bowl team that changed football. If you go to the YouTube description, whether you're watching the show live right now or after the fact, it's in the YouTube description down below. There's the direct link to Amazon to purchase that book. Purchase the book, and then feel free to, over the coming weeks or months or whenever you get a chance to read it, call in and share a story or ask a question to Bob. We love those kind of things here on the program. Again, Beyond Broadway Joe, the Super Bowl team that changed football. I want to thank everybody for joining us here on the program. I've got more shows to record for some other channels, but we'll be coming up tomorrow for another episode of Boy Green Daily. We'll see you guys then. Take care.
Great weekend, everybody.